Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Fox's banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Just into race clear. He's got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy! Pull back here for Darwin. Oh, he scored! An absolute belter! That is trademark Abdul Darwin.
This one into the box. Nugent over the top. Oh, what a goal! David Nugent's just scored a beauty. He's made Forest look like fools.
Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses. Now, first and foremost, where's Locks? Locks is on holiday, mate. Locks is in Turkey, living it up. So you're going to have to make do with me. I am going to be joined by Luke in a moment as well, though. But welcome to the Leicester City versus Wrexham Watchalong. Are you guys excited? I hope you are. Evening, Kuna. Hope you're good. Well, what we're going to do here, I mean, the match doesn't start for a while, so I'm actually going to jump into some analysis of the previous game, as tonight would normally be Tuesday night tactics, and I didn't want to let you guys down. So we're going to do that in just a few minutes, but let's get everyone involved in comments. What do you think the score is going to be? Team lineups aren't quite right on here. They're going to be updated in just a second. I'll bring them up as soon as I can. But I tell you what, in the meantime, let's actually get on to some analysis, shall we? So let me bring this up, and let's talk about some Tuesday night tactics. And let's talk about what happened in the West Brom game that we played on Friday. Now, I think it's fair to say that in this game, it was a bit of a shite one, wasn't it? We did not play particularly well. I think we were very lucky to get anything from the game. Hopefully, we will put that right tonight against Wrexham. But let's take a look at what I think went right and what went wrong in that particular game. So we take a look at this, well, let's just get straight into it, shall we? Right. Let's talk about the three things that I hope don't affect us against Wrexham, right? So I think there are kind of three big issues, right? Number one is that lack of creativity, right? That's something that I really hope we fix tonight. I think it's just been a fact that all season long, we haven't made many chances. And if Marcy doesn't fix that, it's going to be a long, hard season. I want to talk about why Ayew as a 10 doesn't work. I think a lot of people have been saying Ayew as a striker is pretty bad. He's not actually playing against Wrexham tonight. But in my opinion, I don't think he's particularly good as a 10 either. And that's why I'm very encouraged that tonight he's actually put on Bobby Reid in the 10 position rather than putting Ayew there. And he's actually moved Jordan James back. So I think that's the right moves. That's something I like about Marcy. I think he does make some good decisions. And I do also want to talk, though, about Marty's plan B. Because if you remember, when Enzo was in charge, something that people moaned, probably quite rightly, is the fact that he never really changed his style or system. He always just played the same way. And I think what Marty showed us is he's happy to just put it and make it old-fashioned if he needs to. So we'll take a look at that as well. And yeah, Ayew's just not a good footballer, is he? I agree. And I think, to be honest with you, Zach, that I think is the problem with us this season, which we're going to touch on a bit later, which is just our squad. I don't think it's a bad squad, but it's definitely not as good as it was. That's just reality, not from the last time we were. So let's take a look at some stuff, and let's start with my first point. So let's talk about a lack of creativity. Got Steppy here, but it's not just Steppy, it's the whole team, to be honest with you. Let's take a look. So if you cast your mind back to a few years, I thought to myself, when was the last time that Leicester were properly creative? When you thought you came out of a game, you thought, poor. Now, that was a good Leicester performance. And I think if we're being honest, and it's a bit sad, you have to cast your mind all the way back to 2024 when we beat Southampton. We didn't get promoted until the next game. But realistically, this was the game that won us the title. So we beat Southampton 5-0, a dominant display. Southampton actually had more possession than us in this game. But you can just see how good we were. We scored 5 goals. But the thing that I want to kind of get your attention to is just look at the positions of all the players on the pitch. Now, the one that will stand out immediately, of course, is number 9, Jamie Vardy. But look how high up he is on the pitch. You also see that Mavadidi was very aggressive in this game. Also, Abdul Fattah. But also take a look at the rest of the midfield as well, because this is something that surprised me a little bit. Yeah, what a game, Zach. Exactly. This was a brilliant performance. We were so good in this one. Liquid football, as Alan Partridge would say. right? So keep this in mind. So what I wanted to do is compare that to some games that we played this season. So here you can see this is a Southampton game first and foremost. Now here's the game that we played against Coventry, and there's the West Brom game. The numbers are reversed because it was upside down. So I just wanted to make it so that everything was like, you could compare apples to apples, right? Not having differences. And I think some things will just, stand out immediately, right? And the most obvious thing is the number 9, right? Now, it has been said by all you guys all season long, and I've been trying to defend him, but I think I've got to start waking up to the fact that Ayew just does not crash the box enough as a striker, right? Even he's been asked by Marty to maybe play more of this false 9 position. Enzo also had Vardy play the false 9 position, but more importantly, Vardy knew to get himself in the box at the right time to score. So that's when, he was so effective. And yet, Zach, very good point, right? That's when 22 in his first one was, of course, Dewsbury Hall, not Skip. But the thing is, you make a good point here, right? So we can see this, Dewsbury Hall was fairly far advanced, and you can see that he is more advanced than the other midfielders in his position. But if you look at it, compare him to Jordan James here against Coventry and here against West Brom, you can actually see that he is getting forward. So something that has been asked by a lot of you guys is like, is it that we're not attacking with enough players? Is it that we need to go back to Enzo's system to get people in the box? But what I'm saying to you is I don't really think that's the problem. I think if you look at here, I think we are attacking with players other than the striker. That's the main difference, right? Is that we haven't really got that focal point, that talisman who really kind of bullies and harasses defenders, right? And what we're seeing is Ayew at times when the striker does do okay by drifting wide, but because he drifts wide, then he isn't there in the box to kind of, be the dual threat, which he needs to be. So I wanted to share that because I think that kind of shows you that maybe it's not a case of maybe just adding more attacking midfielders, but maybe it's the fact that the players that we've already got on the pitch aren't maybe doing the job. So, I wanted to show you some examples here of our lack of cutting edge. So I want to show you that we are actually making chances, but we're not making enough of those chances. And when we have them, we're not finishing them off. So here was against West Brom. I've got Wout Faes on the ball. He's played it out here to Ricky P. Ricky P's then going to play with Fatawu. And what we're seeing in this game is that because we haven't got Dewsbury Hall and we haven't got Ndidi, is that we're seeing Ricardo is one of the players that's box crashing the most. And tonight it's going to be Hamza Chowdhury, right? But as it happens, I think Ricky is actually doing quite a job of box crashing, but maybe other players in the team are not. So if we follow this move through, we see Ricky plays the 1-2. He receives the ball again. And now you can see he's the one that plays his wicked through ball into Jordan Ayew. You can see that Jordan James is about to box crash as well. And we'll see in a moment that Steffi Mavididi was also following up. So here's Jordan Ayew on the ball, gets in, and he decides to have a strike. Now, I think it's a bit greedy of him to have a shot, to be honest with you. Maybe to be fair, he would have had his cross, cut out. But I think if he'd have played the ball across here, Mavididi, look, he's totally free. He'd probably have a tap in, or maybe, I don't think he can cut it back to Jordan James. But it does show you that we've got a good move. Only attacking with 3 in this move. Ricky P's obviously come forward as well for 4. But still, it's actually a 3-on-2. And that's what Enzo would have wanted, right? The man advantage. So Marty's also created a system here where we have a one-man advantage when we're attacking, but still being fairly, solid in defense. So it is showing you that the system is kind of working, even if it's not necessarily creating enough chances. And guys, we'll get on to Wrexham pretty soon. And yes, it's got to be 3 points for me too. Enough of these draws. So as you can see here, Ayew goes for the shot, but it goes across the box. If he'd have squared it, it would have been a tap in, and so we miss a good opportunity. And then the second opportunity that we made in this match that was really clear cut, because I think the goal was a bit fluky, to be honest with you, is here we're going to see the system in operation again. So you are seeing good coaching from Marty on the training ground. Here I've got Mavididi on the ball. Now Mavididi, when he gets the ball in this position, I think a confident Mavididi is going to drive down the line first time. But what I like about the system is you can see immediately as he picks up the ball, that's the trigger. And you can see that Jordan James is going to make this run into the half space, we call this here, in between the defenders to offer an attacking midfielder run. And Luke Thomas is going to join in as a rotation to maybe overlap or to play in this kind of 8 space here. And what we can see is Mavididi spots Jordan James. Now, again, I think it kind of shows you on Mavididi's confidence that we never used to see him pass to Keane and Dewsbury Hall in the past, but in his current confidence level, he passes it quite often. And he's going to play this nice through ball here into Jordan James. Jordan James is picking up the ball here in a very dangerous position. Now, here is maybe a bit of an issue, right? So Dewsbury Hall, he was left-footed. Jordan James, not left-footed. In fact, we don't have any... Actually, we have one left-footed central attacking midfielder in the team, and that is Louis Page, if he plays. Not playing at the moment, is currently on the bench. But if he was, if this was a left-footed player, they could run in here and immediately put a first-time cross with their left foot. But because he's a right-footed player, he does think about trying to cut across, but he hasn't really got time to do this. So he's got to turn and go backwards. So he does decide to go backwards, and he decides to go to Mavididi. Now, Mavididi's got the ball here again. And again, I've got circled some of the other players. And now you can see Ricky P, who's also now box crashed to join the attack. He could maybe play the 1-2 with Luke Thomas. He could play the 1-2 with Jordan James, or he could try and go direct himself. Now, he does a few step overs, but to be fair to Mavididi, what he does, he actually gets the ball into his left foot and he puts a cross in. And that is a very good cross. Keeper can't come out and get it. You can see Ricky P gets to it. And should he have scored? This was a pretty high XG opportunity. So this was a nicely worked opportunity. We didn't score it. So he went in this game still, 1-0 to West Brom at half time. But I just wanted to basically boil down my point to this. So why aren't we scoring? The squad is lacking attacking players. I think that's the facts, right? When you look at Skip, when you look at Sumare, Jordan James could be the answer, but he's more of a box-to-box midfielder rather than a 10. I think Ricky P is good at box crashing, but other players on the team aren't so much. So just in general, we just do not have as many attacking players. And the attacking players that we do have, well, Jordan Ayew is no Jamie Vardy, right? Carranza's no Jamie Vardy. Patson Daka's no Jamie Vardy. Jordan James is not a kid in Dewsbury Hall. We're not expecting him to be. Maybe Aaron Ramsey will be the answer. I think for us to have a good season, I think we are relying upon him being sort of top quality and someone who could finish like Dewsbury Hall could, as well as being creative. So we'll have to see that. But at the moment, I guess what I'm saying is I feel that like the team is playing quite well or playing okay, but maybe with the system that we're trying to do with our current players, there's a reason why we're not as creative as we'd like the team to be. Steffi Mavadidi's out of form. We've seen it all ourselves. 007, played 7 games this season, no goals, no assists. Not the best from him, is it? But I will say that patterns of play are generating chances, but we're not generating enough of those chances. And I think the other issue is that we're just not crashing the box enough, right? So this is a good point, right? Is it that the players are being too cautious they don't lose ball in transition and risk being caught in the break and potentially conceding? I think there is an element of that. But I think what it is I just don't think our players are that good on the ball. Right? I actually think our players are pretty decent defensively. Like they're decent at tackling. I think they're decent at the build-up and passing. But I just don't think we've got enough ruthless players that really want the goals. Like I think you need a few greedy players in, if I'm being honest, or people that deliberately want to come out, right, and feel like that they were the one that turned the game around. And I think Dewsbury Hall, he went into that championship season last time around thinking to himself, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to be the best player in the division. And he pretty much was, right? So just wanted to show you this as well. Here are some stats from JJ and Ricardo Pereira in that game. And what I'm showing you here, which is I think kind of surprising. So if you look at the touch map, Ricardo actually got into the box more often than JJ did, even though Ricardo started in the right back position and inverts in. So in the game that we're going to talk about tonight against Wrexham, JJ's been moved back to being a more box-to-box player and not necessarily the 10. But I actually think regardless of which position he plays, that's something that in this team he's got to add to his game. He's definitely capable of it. He's not been with the team very long. I think there's plenty of encouraging signs and I think he'll get there in time. But I think that's what he's got to work on, right? He's got to be there to support the team more often, get himself involved and be prepared to gamble because he has got the energy to get back if we do lose the ball on transition, which is kind of your point. So next I wanted to talk about Marty's plan B. So I think something that's very interesting is that, he's prepared to sort of show that we can sort of stir things up if we want to. So let me just bring this up, Marty's plan B, so you can all see this. Yeah, James needs to be a CM, not a cam. I think that's what you'll see from him in this game, actually, to be honest with you, Dimitri. So let's take a look at it. So let me just refresh my page. Some technical issues, as always. And guys, get your scoreline predictions in as well. What do you think the score is going to be today? I'm going for, I think, a narrow 1-0 win myself, to be honest. But I'm a bit disappointed that Danny Ward isn't in goal. I'm going to be honest with you. So yeah, let's talk about plan B. So here you can see deep in the second half that Marty did change it up. And this is something we'd have never seen under Enzo, right? So what you've got here is you've got 2 strikers, you've got a number 10 between them, and you've got 2 out-and-out wingers, and you've got 3 centre-backs. So what he went for was a 3-4-1-2. Like this, much more direct. And I think it's interesting that Bobby Reid, having scored, playing in this position, is playing in the same position tonight, even if the system's a bit different. So this is what he went for. He went for this 3-4-1-2, being more direct. if you notice, the other big thing he did is by this point, actually, Mongo had come on, but he put the left-footed player, Abdul Fattah, on the left-hand side, and he put the right-footed player on the right-hand side in Mongo, whereas normally they would be on the opposite sides to cut in and have a shot. So when he wants a 3-4-1-2, he wants wingers to be more old-fashioned, get to the byline, put in a cross with your stronger foot, win the headers, win the second balls, and then just go for winning the 50-50s and knockdowns. Yes, I think it'll be a Leicester win. And so he can see a bit of old school football. I know Imran, if he was here, he'd be absolutely loving it. Long ball, smashing it over the top, going for the 50-50s. I think this is something that Carranza can offer you if he's on the pitch, which maybe other strikers can't. He manages to win the 50-50, wins the knockdown. It actually goes to Daka. And now you can see Reed. He's got good instincts. He's going to fill in the space now that he can see. Wins the ball. And he actually, in the end, goes for a shot. Although what's a bit unfortunate is if he could have got the ball out to Monga there, Monga could have had the shot himself. But it shows you the sort of different element that we could go under Marty. And like I say, you would literally never would have seen this under Enzo. He just did not like going direct. And I think you have to say that we totally did not deserve it, right? But in the end, Bobby Reed did get the equalizer, right? Here we are deep in stoppage time. This shot wasn't even going in. It was touched in as an own goal. But same thing. We were prepared to go for the chaos, right? We didn't just try and pass it, but then try to score. So that is something good. And I think that could be useful because we're playing Wrexham today. And Wrexham are a very direct team with Kiefer Moore, who wins a lot of aerial challenges. You know, they won't necessarily have a lot of the ball, but I think when they do get chances, they're going to be pretty threatening chances because they'll just use strength and physicality. So I actually like the fact that we're getting a bit more of that sort of old school mentality in, because I think in the Championship, we need to have both. And I personally remember with Nigel Pearson that one of the strongest things we had was we just had a team that was very effective at, grinding out wins if necessary without necessarily playing too well. So finally, I wanted to touch on Jordan Ayew. We've talked about Ayew as a 9, but if you notice in that first game against West Brom there, we were okay in the first half despite not creating much, but I would argue we were even worse in the second half than we were in the first, which is a bit annoying, right? And why was that? So I think there's sort of two things that Ayew has. I think Ayew actually, in terms of being on the ball, isn't as bad as people think he is. So he can see he's received the ball, it's come through the lines, he's got 4 players that are going to surround him. What he does, he actually picks up the ball, turns, spins, and plays a really nice cross-field ball that gets the Fattah. So that's great. That's kind of what you want from your 10, right? To be a creative player, to link up back to front and to create chances for you. So he can do that. But where we see Ayew struggle is he just doesn't have much of an engine with him. And so there's too many sort of screenshots I've got of him with here. The ball is here. You can see he's far more defensive. He should be much further up defending in a 4-4-2 alongside Carranza here. He's dropped back a little bit later on the move. Someone else has gone to fill in. This time it's Fattah, but you can see that now West Brom managed to turn out of trouble, and now that he's pushed up, he hasn't got the energy to get back either. So he's in neither sort of place. And so Dimitri, I kind of disagree with you here. I think that Ayew in our system is actually better as a false 9 than he is at being a number 10. But I think the honest truth is he's not really good at being both, right? The reality is we shouldn't really be relying upon him, right? He should be a squad option, but not necessarily the main man. And, he's only got 1 goal, I think 1 assist in the games that he's played so far, and he needs to definitely increase those. But yeah, there you go. So that's Ayew. I think that's one of the sort of issues that we have. So there you go. There's a bit of analysis of the West Brom game. It was generally a stinker. We didn't play particularly well. We're very lucky to get anything from the game. We certainly didn't deserve it. But I do think that getting a point away at the Hawthorns is an okay point. I think I am disappointed that we've only got 3 points in the last 3 games that we played. But, we could have lost that game. We didn't. We got something from it. So let's move on to tonight's game. This is a game that you guys really want to talk about. So there we go. Leicester versus the Wrexham Athletic. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, can't even say his name. All of the guys, they're going to be here. Disney supporters. And it's the first time we played Wrexham in, I can't remember the last time we played them. Probably 20 or 30 years. So welcome to the King Power to them. And I wanted to point out, thank you very much, Brigham, by the way. Wanted to talk about what this type of game is going to be and the danger man. Now, here's Connor Cody with his fake smile, of course, but the guy that we do have to watch out for is this man, number 19, Kiefer Moore. He's scored, I think, 4 or 5 goals already for Wrexham. He played for Ipswich last time we were in a championship. He's a very good player for 43 years. He played Wrexham. Amazing. He's a very good player at championship level, always scores like a lot of goals. And here I wanted to show you his strengths and the sort of game that we're going to face today. So You can see he's got a lot of shots in total, right? But he's an overall fairly average player. But the thing that sets Kiefer Moore apart from any other striker in the division, in my opinion, are these stats. His aerials won. He is in the top 3% for strikers. And no, Cody is not the danger man. He might be the dangerous podcaster, but definitely not. So yeah, tonight's game, guys, what we're going to have to watch out for is Kiefer Moore and Wrexham being prepared to play long. I think they're going to sit in a fairly low block. Phil Parkinson, he had a lot of success at National League, League 2, League 1 level because he knows that side of the game. And in that part of the game, you know, me and my tactics and all that, they all go out the window, right? It's way more basic. It's way more Sunday League, a very physical, old school English sort of game. And that's how it is. There's not necessarily anything wrong with it. If it works, it works. And Wrexham are good at making the most of those sort of opportunities. So I'm going to now bring up our lineup in just a second. Let me just sort of pull this up here. Bring up the match ratings, which we're going to go through later. And yes, here we've got tonight's lineup. It will come up on the official scoreboard that we've got in a second. Yep, Cody is on the bench at the moment. So here's the Leicester lineup for tonight. And here we can see what we've gone for. So what are the changes? We have made a couple of rotations, has Marty, for this game. Big news is that he has taken Ayew out of the team. Yay! But he's put Patson Daka in instead. What do you guys make of that? Let me know in chat. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm a bit confused with that. I think it's definitely time to take Ayew out of the starting lineup. He has played every game so far. But I think that if Wrexham are going to play pretty deep, which I'm expecting, then I'm not really sure that Daka is the answer because I don't think he's going to get the pace to move in behind. I actually think Ayew would be well suited for a game like this. I actually think Carranza would have been the one most suited to all of it. He would be used to the physical game, even if he did get knocked off the ball a lot in against West Brom. In general, we've seen that he's good at heading the ball. He's got a bit of physicality about him, but I also think he's cute enough and got a decent enough touch that he could link in the players. Because I think that in a game like this, and Tower, I totally agree with you. Daka does look confused to be in the picture. I thought they were trolling us with this. But I just feel that, like, you know, when you're playing against the low block, what tends to happen is it's not going to be your striker that scores, but it's probably going to be one of your attacking midfielders or one of your wingers. It's why quite often when you look at like a Champions League final or a World Cup final, it won't be the striker that scores necessarily. It will probably be the players that are coming with because the games are much more tighter affairs. But look, it's a 90-minute game. You know, we saw this under Maresca many times over that it doesn't necessarily matter about the team that starts. It's a team that finishes. Can they win the game? And look, I do think that, you know, we need to give someone a chance at this point anyway, but I am a bit confused. Maybe what he wants Daka in, thinking about it, is to press Wrexham, play very high. If they're going to play deep, we're going to play a high line ourselves. And Daka is very good at pressing the opposition team, force them into mistakes, and then capitalize on the chaos that we can do from it. So maybe that's what we'll see, guys. So it might not be the worst decision overall. The other changes that we've gone for, Steffi Mavropanos been moved to the bench and we've gone for Jeremy Monga. I think we've all wanted to see that. And I think that that is the right move regardless. And I think against Wrexham as well, I think that you could have some concerns over the physicality, but I don't think Wrexham have necessarily got pace in their team. So I think that someone like Jeremy Monga, whilst I don't expect him to win many aerial duels, he doesn't need to. I think when he's got the ball on his feet against some of their players that are more used to a little sort of League One football, I know they have signed a few players now this season. I think that he's going to cook their right back, to be honest with you. I know he's up against Kabor, who's from Manchester City, so that will be an interesting sort of tactical battle, I think. Hello, Michael. I know you're the Wrexham fan, so good luck to you tonight. Although I hope, obviously, you lose. You went for Daka was the right choice. Ayew slow. Wrexham backline giving up so many chances. You are right. I did a little bit of research for this, and Wrexham, I think, have given up the most sort of goal attempts of anyone in the league, even more than Sheffield United, who are bottom or were bottom. So something to watch out for. But yeah, Kabor has pace. He's dropped down levels. So I think it'll be interesting though. I mean, if Kabor is used to playing against people like Savinho or Mahrez back in the day, he might have a chance. But you'll see that Jeremy Monga, we're not just saying this, but I mean, this guy is one of the most talented youngsters in the country. He's ridiculous. We don't expect him to be here. Well, maybe he'll be here next season if we get promoted, but I don't think he's going to be there too much longer. But for a 16-year-old, he looks absolutely ridiculous. Fatah on the other side is, of course, unbelievable. Maybe the best winger in the division. So Monga starts. I think that's the right call, and I think this game will suit him very well. Then we've got in number 10, here's another big change. We put Dick Cordova-Reid in. So last game, Jordan James played as a 10, but Marty's moved him back to being the box crashing midfielder. I really like that. I like that he's kept him in the team, but not put him in that position. So Bobby Reid in that position. And look, Bobby Reid was clowned on by all of us last season. He was poor, but I can say to you that, you know, when Fulham were in the Championship, that was the season they absolutely cooked it. And Mitrovic scored 41 goals. How ridiculous is that, by the way? And Bobby Reid played very well for them in that season. He wasn't necessarily a 10, but he did play some games as a 10, more on the right-hand side in rotations. So I think this could be a good game for Bobby Reid. And I actually think that Bobby Reid could be a good player for us this season. He already scored. I think he looked decent the previous game as well when he came on as well. So yeah, good to see him in there. Look, I think we know that would be Aaron Ramsey if he was available, but Ramsey has got himself suspended. So Bobby Reid comes into the team. Let's see what he can do. Should be a good game to show us what he's got. Jordan James, as I say, he's been moved back. That means that Samari's been dropped from the team or to the bench. And I think that's okay. I don't think Samari is anywhere near as bad as people make him out to be. But I think the big thing with Samari is he doesn't really offer you that much in attack, right? He's good at getting the ball in tight areas, turning out of trouble and playing the ball on. But he's not that player who's going to get in behind, make that third man run and offer up, you know, a goal scoring opportunity. Jordan James, on the other hand, I think it will suit him better coming from deep than playing up a bit higher. So let's see what will happen with him there. And the final change is that Ricardo's been dropped and Chowdhury comes in instead. And I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Ricky P, I think it'd be very bad to play him 2 games in quick succession like this. We want to fit Ricky P for most of the season. I'd rather have Ricardo against the teams that are better. And sorry, but I think West Brom are the better team than Wrexham. And again, I think if Wrexham are going to play a physical style, that is the perfect game for Hamza. In actual fact, you could argue that even if we had a 1-week gap between games, that playing Hamza Chowdhury in this particular game would be a good idea because you've got another physical player there who can help in the physical battles, especially on set pieces. And look, if we do need to get that goal late on and it's still 0-0, then you can put on Ricky P. So I'm going to get through some of your comments. Why is FaZe playing? Good question. But I think that you've got to be thinking about the aerials, right? The thing with Okoli is that Okoli, I don't know if you've seen him so far this season, Dimitri, but even though you'd think he'd be good in the air, he loses a lot of aerial duels. He's even worse than Vestergaard for that. I think that's something that really surprised me about him, just how many aerial duels he loses. Wout FaZe, I know he has a tendency to go ball watching or let the ball bounce, especially in the Premier League. But generally speaking, in the Championship, he's very good in the air. So I think that's why he's in the team, to be honest with you. Let's see. I might eat my words. But like I say, you're going to need to have someone who can contain a striker. And I think the last time that Wout FaZe played against Kiefer Moore, I think he did pretty well. So that might be the reason that he's in the team. Then you've got Yannick and Luke Thomas, as always. That does scare me a little bit. I think Luke Thomas, especially if I was Kiefer Moore, what I would do is I would start on Vestergaard and I would try to peel off onto this side and I would try to get long diagonals played into me and try and win that against Luke Thomas. So let's have a look to see if that is what he is or isn't going to do. I've got a feeling it might be. So we'll have to wait and see. So I'll tell you what, let's remove that and I'll bring myself up. Have we got the latest lineup? No, let me just work on that in the background. So guys, talk to me. What else do you think is going to be happening in the game? Let's have a look at this. So can't wait to see through a Patson Spacker disaster class. Hope you're wrong, but could well be it. Very strong attacking lineup in attack for Leicester. I think Monga and Fatau on the wings will create chances for him, perhaps. Do you know what? Let me just quickly, while I've got this here, let me have a look at what Wrexham are playing tonight. I've got that on here somewhere. Let's talk about the opposition as well. Unhide. So here we go. Here's your lineup. And I tell you what, let's bring this up here. So here's the Wrexham lineup. Who we've got? So Danny Ward has been injured and he's going to be out for quite a few months and not going to be in the team. Got Kiefer Moore, Josh Windass is a good player, to be honest with you. Who else we've got? We've got Lewis Brunt, ex-Leicester City, coming back here. Ben Sheep, good player. And Kabor, as we talked about, who is a bit of a challenge. And yeah, I'm expecting him to do, no Cody is a shame, let's be honest with you. That would have been funny to see him play. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, right? I was really hoping that Danny Ward would be fit because I just think they would absolutely rinse him. Can you imagine the crowd of Danny Ward in goal? The amount of your shit that would be on him. I think he would crumble, to be honest, and I think it would work very well for us in the game. But that's not how it's gone in the end. But yeah, otherwise, I think they'll probably be happy for a point or try and nick something. But I will say the last game that they played against Norwich, they didn't have as much possession, but they still won 3-2. And so that's the thing, is that, you know, when you play direct football, you don't necessarily have to rely upon so many chances, right? Just take them when you come. And I think the issue is, right, is that we're a team that isn't that creative, and of the chances that we have, we're not the most clinical. We're playing against a deep block who are going to frustrate us all night, and a team that only really needs one opportunity to score a goal. So I hope it doesn't go the way that I just said there, but you can see where it could potentially go wrong. So we'll have to see. No Broadhead in the lineup or Callum Doyle. What's the reason for that then? Broadhead especially, I think that's a big surprise, because I would have played someone like him to give you another outlet on the counter. I think that's something that is very useful. I think Callum Doyle, that's an interesting one. I will say his lack of pace, I don't know, if you're going to be deep, it might not be such a problem. But Callum Doyle obviously used to play for us. There were some games where he was good, but, you know, at the same time, you could see why he wasn't a Premier League player. But in the Championship, you know, I'm surprised you're not starting him, to be honest with you. Felt half decent. Should have been 6-1 to Wrexham. That Norwich scoreline is flat for them. They were terrible. It's interesting. I haven't seen too much Norwich. A lot of us predicted for them to go up actually this season. They've been a bit of a disaster, haven't they? And we must score first tonight. Look, I really hope we do. I think that is one of the big issues we've had all season long, isn't it? Is we just take too long to get going. Real big issue. Darby's good player was last season, Brunt. Yeah, he had some okay games for us, but I think you can sort of see his level. How's Ben Sheep been for you guys? He actually, I think, is low-key quite a good player. I'm a bit surprised that he actually went to you guys. Not in a bad way, but I thought he might get a move to a slightly higher team. You know, maybe he was at Coventry, you know, who are going for promotion, but in the end, they've sold him for some of their other players that they were playing for. So a bit of interesting there. Okay, let's have a look maybe at some other team news or who else is playing in the Championship tonight. Then you guys are going to be joined a little bit later on by Luke. Leicester City Down Under will be helping us out. Should be pretty fun to see what he has to think of today. Other games in the divisions, we got Birmingham against Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn against Swansea, Bristol City versus Ipswich. Bristol City going well, that'd be interesting. Hull versus Preston, Middlesbrough versus Stoke. Oh, that's a one against first against second. That's a big one. And another big game is Sheffield United versus Southampton. And then finally, Derby versus Charlton. Quite a lot of matches there to be doing it. Sheep and Cabot and Hyam only started 2 matches since the market closed, but all 3 are good. That makes sense. You got a deep squad. How's your season gone so far, Michael? I think after your sort of first 5 games, people are like, oh, Wrexham look in trouble. But I think you fixed things fairly decently since then. Let's see what else we can bring on. Let me bring on the table. Let me take off the lineup. Yeah, Middlesbrough top. Coventry, they're doing well, aren't they? Going into second place there. Pretty good for them. Evening, Neil. Hope you would. Really hope Mavididi comes on the scores. Will massively boost his confidence. Yeah, I hope so too. He needs something, doesn't he, to get going? It's rather sad to see what's happened to Steffi Mavididi, you've got to say. Looking at the form, it's been decent now. Awful start, but since they won at Preston in the Cup, it's been better. All but QPR. Hey, Ethan's mum. How's Ethan doing? Hope he's watching the game as well. We need to win, break the streak of draws. Absolutely. And Clibbo, okay, give me your thoughts then with the team. I'm pleased that BDR is playing the 10. I am too, and I'm glad that. What I was a bit worried at actually is that he would drop Fatawu and play Bobby Reid in that position instead, and that would have been very poor, I think. So I think it's good that he's played him there, although I do wonder he's not going to rely on Fatawu for every single game. So at some point, who's going to play instead of him, do you think, in that position? It's something we'll have to see. Also, what do you think about Louis Page? You know, he must be a bit frustrated. He did all right against Birmingham, hasn't been seen since then. Yeah, a bit strange about Locks for a while. I have heard he might make the odd appearance every now and again, but I don't know if you're part of the Blue Tinted Glasses WhatsApp chat. He's definitely having a lot of fun. And Buzz says, I have money on the BDR assist and the Fatawu goal. Well, let's hope you're right. That would be lovely jubbly if that was the case. Let me ask you, everyone in chat, now that we've played now 7 games, it's about to be the 8th. Where are you thinking we will finish at the end of the season? Because I think we're very Jekyll and Hyde. At one moment, we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get autos easy. Then we're like, oh, we're not making the playoffs at all. Then it's somewhere in between. Difficult to say. You know, when we hit 10 games, I think that does give you a good indication of where we're going to be. And I think if you look at the table, you can see Ipswich are rising fast. I think the fact that Coventry have hit second already, I did say to you in the analysis for that game that Coventry's underlying data is very good. I actually think that in the end, draw, not a bad result, but we should definitely have beaten them. 4th, 5th, 7th. The 7th is outside the playoffs, so that's why I hope you're wrong there, Tower. But is that with or without points deductions? I think that might be the big thing. In the long run, I think we'll be fighting for 6th place. Could be right. Apparently, Page was very poor in the under-21s the other day. It must be proper demoralising for him after back-to-back starts, so he's back in the under-21s. Dallas Fox says, Craig, hope you're well. Without a points deduction, 3rd to 5th place, but with a points deduction, 6th to 10th place. Do you know what, though? I think you're cheating, because when you say 6th to 10th place, right, 6th means you're in the playoffs, and 7th and beyond means you're not. So stop sitting on the fence and tell me what you actually think. We don't want to get promoted this season. This is an interesting debate, and I wonder what the rest of you think about this. So the thing is that, you know, Sunderland, you could argue that they got promoted too soon, but look at them. They're 3rd in the Premier League right now. They're absolutely flying. They signed a brand new team. Now, does that mean that Leicester would do that? Don't know. Craig, I'm going to ban you if you put that one more time. No, joking. Probably sitting on the fence. Yeah, Neil, I agree that any punishment should be applied before the season starts. I don't understand why they don't do that. Do you know what I think? I think the reason why any punishment hasn't been applied is I don't think they can find us foul of the previous PSR breach. I think if we do get done, it might be because we don't have the right accounts for this year, right? Or which might take into account the last Premier League year. But I just can't believe that they would do it. So, you know, is it 100% we're getting a deduction? No, it's not 100% because otherwise they would have given it to him. Yeah, current form says we aren't ready for Premier League, but we have potential to be by the end of the season for sure. And like I say, like if you look at Sunderland, they didn't deserve to be Premier League either, but they've got there. They bought a whole new team and they're absolutely flying. They're doing the best of all 3 promoted teams. But as I say, I don't think Leicester would spend 150 million in one window, although we did spend 80 million when Cooper was in charge. Yeah, I don't trust our board to be like Sunderland. We signed awful players like Skip. Yeah, but I really hope we've learned from that. It's absolutely criminal that, I mean, look at all these players that we keep naming. Bobby Reed, Ayew, Skip, they were all clearly, you know, signings that were made by Cooper and now just clogging up the squad. El Khanous might have acted like a rat in the end, but he was a good player. Even Buonanotte might have had attitude issues, but the fact that he's playing for Chelsea at the moment, albeit on loan, is still indicative that those were good signings. They were the sort of players we should have gone for. Young talents that actually had upward potential, not old cloggers that are on expensive wages. I agree. Under Pearson, the loss was a blessing, in my opinion. What would be the reaction if we lost today? Disappointment for sure. I think a lot of fans would probably be already calling for the manager's head, but I just think it would just be a bit, it would be frustrating, but I don't think it'd be major panic yet. I think after 10 games will be the first time that you people should really chime in. So I think it would depend where our position is at that point in time. From Buzz, my thoughts, Anil, is that EFL said we aren't happy with you and we can't really give you a deduction. I think they told the club that as long as you don't spend a dime or income and transfer this window, that would suffice. Yeah, maybe it's like one of those that there'll be like sort of gentleman's agreement, like, okay, well, we'll just accept what's happened and we'll see. Yep, Sunderland got Xhaka, we got Skip. Says it all, doesn't it? Although I have to admit something here. I thought Xhaka was going to be a bad signing for Sunderland. The reason I thought he's going to be a bad signing is he's a good player, but he's not the most mobile. He's not the fastest, and I thought he might get caught out of the physicality. But actually, no, he's been a great leader. He provides them quality on the ball, and the way that they play, he doesn't have to be the most mobile. So actually, it's turned out to be a very good signing for them. What do you think of the KDH yellow? Oh, mate. That was nonsense. That was absolute nonsense. You guys were kind of dicked for that. You guys, I swear, I don't want to get on the mafiosi sort of treatment, but it's rare that I see a Liverpool derby and see that Everton got a fair shake of things. But I think Liverpool get that in most of the games. The same as that the amount of times we've been to Anfield and they'd give Liverpool a nonsense penalty, absolutely ridiculous. Michael, I haven't seen the team this year in the Championship as good as Leeds were last season. They look like a Premier League team. Leicester have been the closest because of the young wingers. Now, that's interesting. Look, for what is worth, Michael, I don't think any of our fans think we're anywhere near as good as where we were the last time that we were in the Championship. I think the last time we were in the Championship when we had Dewsbury Hall, Jamie Vardy, Wilfred Ndidi, then we looked brilliant. Then I thought we looked like a Premier League team the whole way. Is Luke joining to the Watchalong? He is, but he's obviously running late. I'm going to have words with him. Sacked will be the official term that I give to him. Let me just message him now. Yeah, hopefully it won't just be me. I don't think I could take it for my own sanity. Chelsea would have been better going to a Palace type. Yeah, probably agree with you there. Luke sacrificing his beauty sleep again. It's not working if you ask me. Yeah, Facundo, not Chelsea. Yeah, I think that's his issue, isn't it? He just needs to be playing every week, if you ask me. We'll have to see that. See, let's hope Monga does well. I think his worst performance so far was his other start versus Charlton. Yeah, that's something that remains to be seen. I think, the thing that maybe gave him problems with Charlton is that they went for man pressing. I think if you look at their tactics, they were quite interesting the way that they set up. Their manager might be a knobend, but he's not an idiot. I'm not sure though that Wrexham will go man for man. I think, like I say, that they'll just play deep, which I think will suit Monga, because I think Monga, the way you get the best out of him is if he's got time and space, he'll destroy you. And I think that's the one thing that Charlton did well. And he wasn't playing against tired players either. But let's see. Big challenge for him for sure. I have to say, Tuesday happy hour in the USA is not as fun as it was on Friday. Would agree. I think this will be our best XG game of the season. Hope you're right. We have a leading and an assist tonight. Well, that's what they say. Keen to see JJ as an 8. Definitely agree with you. Sheffield United match when? That's a win-win. And if we lose against them, we should forget about going up. Maybe, but you know what, right? When we got promoted last time, we did lose to Millwall. We lost to Plymouth. We lost to Bristol City away. I think we lost to Stoke. In the Championship, like in any league, you sometimes are going to get random losses. You just have to make sure you get enough points at the end of the season. I also think as well, we're still in the top 4 in the Championship, despite the fact that we drew 3 times. I would say that the last time that I particularly, when we were under Nigel Pearson in the Championship, one thing that I really noticed is that it really makes a difference just getting a point anytime. As long as you get a point is not like a points dropped in the Championship, as weird as that sounds. It doesn't often feel like that, but most of the times that is actually the case. So something for us to look out for. It's just a grind. And, I think what's interesting is this particular season is that I feel it's gone back to more like how the Championship was. I think the last 2 seasons, last year, Leeds and Burnley got 100 points. That's absurd. The season before that, you had Leeds, Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester all being ridiculous. But normally, the way that the Championship is it's a proper grind, and it's just about slogging it out. And it really is just, you don't even need to be great every week, in my opinion. If you can be 7 out of 10 every week in the Championship, normally that gets you promoted. Now, the last time we were in it, that wouldn't be good enough. But I've got a feeling that this season probably is. So keep an eye out for that. It might be something that surprises you. Okay, let me just bring up the game myself. Let's get some more comments up. Yeah, Luke definitely set for Islam. Absolutely. How are we watching, guys? Fox's Hub, if you've got it. If you've not, there are sources that are available to you if you need to get going there. Yeah, Paramount in the USA. Just want to apologize, guys. For some reason, the team lineup isn't correct on the right-hand side. I will look to fix that as soon as I can. The whole world smiles with you. Absolutely. Come on, lads. Let's do this. All right, guys. I might be slightly behind you. So as always, if you don't mind, please don't spoil it. When Luke gets here, I'll probably have a more up-to-date slide. We're just about to hit kickoff in mine, but haven't kicked off yet. I'm guessing on you guys' stream it already has. Yeah, and we've kicked off on mine, so just about there. Yeah, Monga is starting. All right, come on, lads. See what we can do here. Yeah, they show the Champions League. Of course they will. Luke Thomas on the ball here. Up to, here we go, Jeremy Monga. Yeah, look, so I noticed already that Wrexham is sitting pretty deep, already retreating into quite a deep block. So I think that will suit us, but it's going to require creative players. You think they're going to kick the shit out of Monga, do you? Could be right. Or yeah, don't forget the warning about giving away goals early. That's amazing though, that Ray, that you can be in the States and get a more up-to-date version of the game than us in England. Mental. Keeper Morrissey on the ball. Yeah, back of his usual crap. Oh, interesting. The new left back from Wrexham has. Do I have access to Lux's soundboard? Here's my sound effect is in full force. Yeah, lots of empty seats. Donkey sounds of Luke. What a great day. He's just about to join. I've finally seen him waking up looking guilty as hell in the other chat. Lewis Brunt on his return to Leicester here. Yeah, Thomas has started well, hasn't he? I have to say, this really reminds me of an Enzo game. Just look how deep Wrexham are already. Yannick Vestergaard playing on the wing here. Crazy. Oh, Jordan James gives the ball away there. Dimitri, try Foul News is all I will say to you. You'd like to see VK and his crazy head braces that he wore last time round? Can't stand Wrexham. No, it's not the genuine supporters' fault, is it? No, audio's not muted. It's just me until I'm joined by Luke. Then I'll be a bit more vocal. And speaking of, here he is.
Panic. What did the game start early? Sorry, dude. I thought honestly it was not starting for 10 of the minutes. You going right?
Yeah. How are things?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Mate, what is this lineup, dude? I don't know if I'm like annoyed at Marty or like impressed that he made so many changes, but fucking hell, Daka up top.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. Go on, everyone, say hello to Luke. Here he is. Oof. See, what we've got to watch out for is their direct threat. Look at that, straight down the wings. Oh, he done well there. Was that? Got away with one there. Yeah, Kabor absolutely rinsed Luke Thomas there on the right-hand side.
I wanted to talk about this more in the preview. This is the one matchup I was extremely concerned about. This guy looks proper dangerous. This Man City, it's been at Man City for a long time. He's been real dangerous for Wrexham, and he's already exploited.
Good ball there from Mongot. Can Reed keep it in? He can. Recycles there to Luke Thomas.
Weeks looked like he was.
Yeah, Wrexham should have scored. I agree. That was a great opportunity for them. And that's what I'm saying. We've got to watch out. We're going to have all this possession, but all it takes is one brain fart. That's the first time Mongo's gone up against Kabor. Done with him okay. What's your prediction for the score? You said a draw, didn't you, Luke? Mr. Positive. Or were you just bumming that Wrexham supporter?
Shut the fuck up.
Good opportunity. Because I'll be honest with you, that's what I thought watching the entire French preview. But there you go.
I was being positive. It's a guest, man. What do you want me to do? Be mean to a guest? I fucking slagged him off. I didn't slag him off. I mentioned Danny Ward, and he's like, "Oh, I've interviewed him." I was just like, "Fuck!" I felt bad, bro. I felt like I was being a dick.
That's a good opportunity there from Bobby Reed.
So what are your thoughts then? He's put Bobby as a 10, which is one good thing. He's put JJ a bit further back, which is good. But what are your thoughts on Chowdhury and Daka up top? Like, were you surprised to see that?
Chowdhury, no, because I don't think you can play Ricardo twice in this short amount of days. I also think with the physicality of Wrexham, that was a good pick. Daka, though, I don't think really fits a team that's going to sit deep. I was thinking if he was going to play him that we would press them really high and he'd try and be a nuisance, but so far we haven't really done that. So that's the one surprise I've got. But perhaps he looked at Carranza in the previous game and he just thought he's not quite ready for starting yet, which might be fair enough. Look at Monga, here we go. That's what we thought might be the case. I think them giving time and space to Monga is going to cost them. Nah, it's greedy for Tau. Good effort it was. Jay Stansfield stat padding against Sheffield Wednesday. I had him for top scorer of the season. That was great from Monga. I can see Monga winning a penalty in this game. Corner to Leicester, Jordan James take. Wow, hold down 2-0 already. Crazy.
Let's have a look.
Preston flying. A bit of a slow start though from Leicester, I'll be honest. I was expecting us to make a bit of a faster start.
So I'm surprised. The one thing that surprised me most about this, some of these changes was actually no IU included at all. It kind of seemed undroppable and super integral to any system of Marty's that we've seen so far. He's almost been like playing full 90 minutes every single game. If he doesn't get taken off, when he does get subbed, he gets changed positions usually. What are your thoughts on that?
No, he had to. He had to make some rotations, and I think even he knows that it'd be crazy. I just mentioned Lux.
Ooh, Dapper Apartment's looking a bit better. His jacket's looking decent.
Yeah.
He hasn't got that hideous vest on, man.
Yeah, that gilet. Oh, here we go. Nice from Fatawu. Just need to be a bit more patient. I think we might be rushing a bit. You'd think surely though, Winks and Monga, players like that should be more than enough. Nice.
Fuck off. Fucking smart ass you are, Longman.
Yeah. Okay, opportunity for us. I do like that Jordan James can take set pieces. I hated it when IU was taking them.
I just want a fucking set piece taker. I'd like an out and out, like you are a set piece taker, no one else. It's rotating way too much, and we haven't had one since Madison left. Fuck, I miss him.
You'd think Monga could take him, but good delivery.
Very good delivery.
Up to Monga. Go and run at him. Blackpool beating Luton. How are Luton doing? Are they struggling again in League One? That's insane. Are they going to be like the first team that goes National League to Premier League and then back again? Mental. Okay.
Look at this. Both our fullbacks advance.
Monga on the ball. What do you reckon the possession stats will be this game? Probably 70%. Oh, nice ball, Yannick. That
Easy.
was half decent from Bobby Reed, but of course Daka gives the ball away. Could we try and get James Ward-Prowse on loan in January? Nuno doesn't rate him. You know what? It's not the worst idea. It'd probably be all right in the Championship. But I've got to say that in general, I'm not a fan of Ward-Prowse. I think that without his set pieces, he's a very average player.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. I was about to rinse you. It's just like, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
No, but Championship is a different level, Luke. Got to admit that. Like, how many of our players right now would be good enough for the Premier League? Only Fatawu. That's the reality. And even he would probably wouldn't even be first team for that many teams.
I still stand by Winks as the Premier League and the right system and team.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Fatawu definitely, but not the way he's playing right now.
Oh, Kabor again, danger. This is going to be a threat all game long. Oh, we
He's
love
really
it.
good, dude. Just seeing Dockers coming.
Yeah, always too slow. But you know what's frustrating me is that so far we're not even like, you know, cranking on the pressure, like just chance after chance or just dominating the ball. It's we're giving Wrexham a bit too much respect here. Like that's what appears to be lacking for me compared to the last time we were in the Championship. That we're not like that. I feel like a lot of teams turned up and they were scared right from the off, but I don't really think teams are scared of us these days.
Yeah, mate. I actually tend to. Sadly, that's really true. We just had that certain arrogance about us last time under Enzo. You know what I mean?
Good pick out to Kabor.
Oh, mate, this guy's going to skin. Oh.
You know, we were linked to him as well.
Really?
Yeah.
He looks a machine, man, for this level.
Yeah. Well, Man City youth player, they normally produce good ones.
Yeah, Man City and Man United, man, have got absolute beasts of youth academies. United right now and the youth system right now are fucking dominating.
Get Broadhead on. Yeah, Ward-Prowse has no pace, never has. That's where I think he's lacked. He was always bad for Southampton. He's not up and down enough. Man, we need to wake up though. We're not doing anything in this game so far.
We can't fuck all.
Yeah, Moore wins the aerial duel.
Oh, mate, Chowdhury is we got.
Oh, I got away with it. Hamza, of course.
Fucking mate, you know what that deserves right now? That was fucking disgusting.
Yeah. That is so poor as well.
Look at this. What are you doing? Mate, if I'm a Wrexham fan, I'm fucking screaming at this bloke for not burying that.
You should be. That's such a poor finish. He could have taken it around the keeper. He could have taken it with his left. But yeah, do you know what? Sub him off for that.
Yeah, O'Brien should be hold.
Yeah. Oh, and now we've got a counter-attack for Fatawu on the counter. Monger up with him.
Nice, Fatawu. He's done well there.
A bit behind him. Thomas coming to support. So we're not crashing the box enough. Look, where are the blues in the boxes? Come on.
Fucking move, ref, you bellend.
I did a little bit of tactics just before the game started, Luke, but I think box crashing is our problem. Like, we are getting players into positions, but we're not getting there fast enough. And you saw there, right? There was a point where Mongo had the ball. Wrexham had 7 players in the box, and we didn't have anyone. Enzo would say it's all about arriving in the box.
Yeah, definitely. We used to have 8s arrive in the box, and then after that, if that didn't work, then the fullbacks would join in. You'd see JJ lurking basically right outside.
Doubling up on
before
Mavadidi. No, Ipswich losing, eh? That's good. But let's worry about ourselves first and foremost. Oh, phase of a nice ball over the top, finds
Beautiful
Daka.
ball.
Too much for Tao. Okay, now that's the first time I see us actually try and press high, and it works. Yeah, very slow getting it forward, Mr. Boho. And that surprises me, because in pre-season, you saw Marty shout a lot of the team by saying, travel together, get forwards. Wrexham have the most chances of creating the lead. They'll let people have possession. Well, that's just it. You can be direct. That's the Parkinson way. I think, though, that ultimately you'll find you will need to adapt that style as you start changing your team composition over the years. Oh, nice ball that. Jordan James. That was much better. And that's what you want to see from Jordan James.
Him. I got to be honest with you, Bobby. I'm not even going to call him Donkey right now. Bobby Reid is actually looking a lot more mobile and better link-up play than I already in 15 minutes.
Yeah, he should be.
I've got to be honest with you.
He's got more imagination, I think, as well.
Well, he set his back to the ball. He's released the ball and he's put straight into the box.
That was good save from the keeper. Otherwise, that's Daka tapping it in. Daka, the score today, LOL, exactly. £50 head, indeed. Didn't quite reach for Tao with that. Adrian, not quite. What's happening is when we defend out of possession, yes, Bobby Reid does join Daka as a 4-4-2 out of possession, but in possession, it's just your standard 4-2-3-1. And what will happen is that the right back tries to box crash to be the free man, which is Hamza today, not Ricardo. That is maybe where we could do with him, especially as Hamza's already trying to outdo his 3.1 match rating from last week with an even worse performance tonight. Wink's looking good, though. I think he'll be key to this game to get something from it. Is O'Brien right or left-footed? I'm guessing there that he is left-footed because he didn't take it with his right.
Go on. What a fucking ball from Vestergaard, you sexy bastard.
Yeah, he's done well. I was saying again in the analysis that what I feel is that the build-up is not bad, but the difference is that this season we don't have the players up front that are as good as receiving the ball. Like Dewsbury Hall and Vardy especially were just, oh, look at Faith in the box. Yes! Oh, Daka, mate. See, that was great. So I've just complained about box crashing. FaZe crashes to the box from centre-back, being the free man. Great cross you've got to save from Wow.
But of course, unfortunately, there was a fucking donkey on the end of that ball.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't even need to trap it. He just needs to once again. I love that. FaZe joins the rotation as the additional free man receiving the ball. At Jordan James vacating the space. FaZe comes in. First time cross. He doesn't need to trap it. He just needs to connect with it. Spaka, yeah. But what's good is we are now at least starting to turn the screw a little bit. Yeah, I think Vardy, he'd get one of them. But look, guys, we got to stop complaining about Vardy. Living legend. You'll never see a player as good as that. I'll say again, I'll be surprised if we see a striker as good as that play for Leicester in my lifetime. Because prior to him, there's no one I've seen anywhere remotely close to him. You know, I used to think Tony Cottee was a good striker. Do you know what I mean? Carranza at half-time could be.
I don't think he's... I think Marty now recognises that Carranza is a bit of a flop, to be honest. The fact we've seen Daka in front of him, holy fuck. Just a spot option. Seriously.
I mean, he could be. You never know with players like that, right? That's the problem. Is you can look at the scouting profile, you can look at the videos, and someone can look good, but they turn up for training on day one, and you might think, "Oh no, we've bought a donkey," right? It can always happen.
Yeah.
Look, to be fair to Marty, what I will say is that Skip isn't getting anywhere near. He hasn't come on even, has he, since the transfers have been made?
No, actually, I actually called for him. I thought he might start today. I'm glad that we've seen JJ been pushed back.
Oh, look
He's
at
better
face.
there.
Daniel O'Connor, I like you, but any more of this anti-Tony Cottee talk, and I will have to put you in timeout. I will hear nothing against the GOAT. When I remember seeing him, he was 34 years old in finals for us. He was a top player. Yeah, is this just Edouard Mark II, Luke?
Yeah, fuck. At least
Yeah,
he'll get
Faye's
played.
getting away with one. Play that donkey sound effect.
Where is Edouard? Where did he end up, by the way?
He went back to France.
Okay, because
Oh,
not
Faye's
only
got
was he a
yellow for
donkey-
that. Oh, mate.
That's a piss take. That's fucking soft. He
He lost
must have had a
control of
really
it, though. He
horrible
got carried
attitude.
away. No, Thomas did well there. Yeah, he went to Lens.
Interesting.
Tony Cottee forever. What about Heskey? Heskey, of course. I mean, that's what made that combination of those two work. But I will say that Heskey for Leicester never really scored that many goals. Heskey looked good for like the 3 games when he played next to Stan Collymore. But the strikers that, like, when we're in the Premier League, Tony Cottee would normally get about 10 goals a season. And then later on, we had Paul Dickov, I think was the last Leicester player before Jamie Vardy to score 20 goals in the season, though that was in the Championship, of course. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, Leicester have been a fairly sort of middling team. So we haven't really had, Steve Claridge, was it? Yeah. Never really had like an elite striker. And that's why Jamie Vardy, for at least 4 or 5 years, was, outrageous. Oh, that was good play. Great play. Greedy. Use the man, not the ball. Okay, I think we are starting to make the passes a little bit more. Now, this is a good shout from Rye. We should get Regan Heskey on loan in January. I saw he made his debut for Man City in the Cup.
Mental.
Yeah, the Heskey brothers look good. I've got to say, my current thinking is, having a look at us, is we are still at least one player short. We need another attacking player.
Can that be Ramsey? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but even if it is, right, I just feel like we need... Yeah, Abdul's not having the best of times so far. I think for me, what he's doing is he keeps trying to beat his man, whereas I think the space is there.
To be fair,
Yeah,
that passes right now.
Of course, they're legends of the club, but even for as old as I am, I have never seen any of those play. Go on, Winks. That's it.
Fucking beast.
Funny enough, Adrian, I think that's actually lower than what I was expecting. Like I say, that's the sort of game that we should be playing here. And I have to say, I will give Wrexham some credit. They are not playing exactly the sort of game I thought. I thought they wouldn't really show much up front, but they've made the better chances so far. You've got to say, oh, here we go.
That is beautiful. Here we go. Where is everyone?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
As soon as he's got there, he needs to have 2 options there to at least give him something. So he's got to shoot. Fair play to Hamza, though. That's actually a great ball in behind.
Brilliant ball.
And he's won a corner.
Abdul's never going to score that goal from there. What a fucking selfish bastard.
Ciao Diesta. Let's not get carried away, but fair enough. Yeah, no one to square to.
Okay, we've now got Thomas taking a set piece on the opposite side where he needs to defend from. So if we get hit out in transition, we're fucked.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was well worked set piece. That was, you can see we do work on him on the training ground.
What, playing him short?
Yeah, he saw that because it completely found him free. It's almost like he wasn't expecting it to get there, but it did. Let's take a look at this again. Look at that. That's deliberate. Oh, that's well worked.
Awful donkey contact from Donkey Overreed.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That's a bit unfair. He gets the shot on target. What I will say though is that even if there was no one in the way, he's not got any real finesse on there to put it in there. We do need a right back to replace Ricardo. Yes, I agree. That's why I thought when we were linked to Cabora, actually, I think it made sense.
Different
especially with
profile player,
JJ going. And of course, we saw Koulibaly go back. Cleworth starting a centre-back since non-league days. Really? Full respect to him if that's the case. I love it when you get those stories of players who make their way through the leagues. There was that Luton player that went all the way from non-league to Premier League. Go on, Monga.
Humiliated them.
Not quite on the wavelength there.
Fuck.
Just give the ball, Monga.
He's been double teamed on there and got himself out of trouble.
Yeah. Well, I keep saying, I do think with Monga, as weird as he was saying, it's mature of him, but I actually think he should run at his man more often.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word.
Daka, man, is so shit. How is this guy 30 million we paid for him?
The annoying thing is, if he'd actually made that pass work, it'd be much better. Feels like Friday all over again. I slightly disagree with you, Ray. I know why you're saying that, but look at the possession stats there. 77% possession, 7 shots already. It's like we're dominating the game. Of course, it won't mean anything if we concede the soft goal, but I think we're connecting the dots much better than we were on Friday. I mean, that second half on Friday was the worst half I've seen on the Marty, actually, I would say. Just no fluency.
Winks there? Sorry. No fluency. Did you see Winks there was screaming at Fatal for not releasing the ball sooner and passing it back to Winks?
Yeah, they got to go faster. Winks again. Yeah, come on. Wow. Step it up, bruvs. It's just 2 shit teams. Kind of looks that way at the moment. But look, I think the way that Leicester are playing, they are making some nice passing moves over here. No, my word. This is... There are some... Get that sound effects out.
I'm trying to not even look at it right now. I'm just going to be so... Yeah, I mean... Why is this guy captain, man? I don't understand people's love of this guy, man. He's got no quality whatsoever. Look at this shit. What the fuck? If we concede first in this game, we're finished. The passing's way too confident on the floor.
It definitely feels like that sort of game. Because they're obviously content to sit in. Bangladeshi banger.
I'm going to get the shits unturned proper.
Yeah, Wolf, I totally agree with you. That's what's even worse. Like, you can make mistakes, but it's like when a mistake's your attack.
Attack. Come on, get in the box. Get in the box. Well, that sums up our game. The 16-year-old that's the next coming of football Christ is sending balls over the fucking well over the net like that.
Yeah, a bit slow on the build-up. I agree.
Look at his lips, boys.
I will ask our scouts inside the ground what it's like, but from what I hear, I mean, I don't think they're happy, but I don't think they're turning on the team or anything yet. No, got away with that, Thomas. Nah, he's given no yellow. Yeah, he has given the yellow.
Let's have a look at the stats here. How many shots I've had? How many actually on fucking target? Let's have a look. 8 shots, 0 on target, Anil.
Yes, that's the problem. Marty's definitely told Abdul to play more in his system. Could be. Yeah, Thomas is getting this now. This is where we've got to worry. This is exactly what they want. Yeah, Thomas has been rinsed. 4-year deal, by the way, or was it 3-year deal? Jesus. Watch out for 19. We've got to stop Moore from getting this. That's easy for Stolarczyk.
Okay, here we go. No one's in.
I'll tell you what's interesting about today, though, is that if you look at both Hamza and Luke Thomas, like normally Ricardo is getting way more forward in the box to support the attack. And then, oh, that was nice. Nice. Go on. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And that was a really good move, though. Let me tell you, Locks has just sent me some absolutely filthy messages in text. You can just imagine.
Locks is creaming.
No, Locks is not missing this. In fact, I think if you were Mrs. Locks tonight, you're gonna have a good time. Is my
yeah. Locks is having twins when he gets back from Turkey, ladies and gentlemen.
Great move though. Give and go 1-2. Look, fair play to Daka.
Yeah, let's see that again.
That is exactly the Barca system. Give and goes, triangles, diamond.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know, I'll be honest, the keeper should have saved that, but you know, when you're 1-on-1, you put it low, you're always going to be doing it. Yeah. That poster you guys made of Sydney Sweeney with James Jordan's head on the top of it is getting absolutely rinsed tonight. You can then.
That was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Who are you subbing off at halftime, sir?
Well, he's not going to take anyone off right now, but I think the fact that both Luke Thomas and Hamza Chowdhury are on yellows, if honestly, it's more Luke Thomas you got to watch out for because Kabor is clearly their best player. He looks very good and he's got the pace and has beaten us down that side a few times. So, you know, if you're going to be cautious, I'd say I'd put Christensen on for Thomas just to avoid the yellow card. Nice for Tawu.
For me, Ricky P as
well. But I think because the thing what Wrexham are doing is just by sitting deep against a team like us. And the thing is, they're not just sitting deep, but they're giving all of our players time on the ball. You can't do that, Luke. You can't give people that are better than you. Like, I don't know about you, but when you play five-a-side, you know, if you have to mark someone that's clearly just like 2 or 3 times better than you, if you're going to try and beat them in a fair fight, oh, shit, Thomas made a foul there. He's on a booking.
Thomas is going to come off.
I would definitely take him off there.
Yes. To be honest with you, Neil, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. When someone's way too good for me at five-a-side on a Friday, I just instantly revert to Brexit ball. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to foul the shit out of this guy. It's not fucking...
I mean, but that's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. You've got to like engage in first contact and like take the risk, right? Like, you know, if the ball gets played to them, I try and get it from behind of them, win the ball, So you're not even making a question. Oh, that was a great ball by Vestergaard.
I got to
He's
be
had quite a
look,
good game, I think.
if someone's like, if I play in a team where I know I've played them before and I know someone's like really good, and there's just nothing I can do, there's no amount of practice I can do to ever catch up to that person's level. What I'll tend to do is I wouldn't recommend this at a professional level, but I'll foul them somewhat within reason early, so they second guess every single thing they do. Because I'm a decent sized lad, man. I've played some people at five-a-side, and like every single time they go to play on me, they'll have that second of hesitation that goes in my favor because I've played them before, or I've got some videos I got to send to you later. I think I've sent you a couple before. You've just been like, mate, what the fuck? That is
there was a
such
legendary
shit.
manager in this country called Ron Atkinson that used to be like on the Champions League commentary. Oh no, Thomas on the yellow against Cabor again. He's going to get rinsed
Yeah.
there because he has to. He can't afford to make the challenge. I think Marty has got to take off Thomas. Yeah, I agree. He's got to. Well, first time we've led a game since the 29th of August. That's crazy. I'll tell you what, Michael, Wrexham fan, Cabor, you need to make that guy permanent. He looks very good.
Why don't you suck him off a nil?
No, I will.
Just fucking.
Anyone looks good against Luke Thomas.
Oh, Thomas, mate, you are awful.
Thomas,
Thank you,
I think you got to take Thomas off before halftime.
Well, I
That
agree.
was,
Someone in the chat
I'm
said he was.
surprised that was Windass. He's normally a good player.
Someone in the chat said that Victor Christian was warming up now.
Good, he needs to be. Someone asked if Ricardo can play left back. Believe it or not, Ricardo played an entire season at left back under Claude Puel when he was manager of Nice, I think it was. Yeah. In fact, apparently Ricky actually started off as an attacking midfielder, and it was Claude Puel who moved him back. They loaned him from Porto,
Yes.
changed him to a fullback, and the rest is history.
A lot of people don't know that.
Claude Puel for being literally the most boring manager, although he wasn't as bad as Cooper or Van Nistelrooy. We have got to thank him for bringing in Ricky P to Leicester.
He basically built the team. A lot of people say that.
Oh, decent header from Vestergaard. Well, see, we had a sporting director called Edouard Massier at the same time, so it's difficult to say who did what. But for sure, he brought under Claude Puel, Harry Maguire, James Maddison, and
Tillemans
into the club, and they were good signings.
Was Tillemans not Puel as well?
Technically, he was actually, yeah, on loan, and then permanent under Rodgers. But I'll be honest with you, Luke. My feeling is I think they told Yuri Tillemans that Brendan Rodgers was going to be the manager. Because I know, no, I'm not making this up. Maybe people in chat will say this, but people told me that I think we appointed Rodgers in March or something like that. But in the January, during the winter break for Scotland, he was seen in the Leicester area looking for houses.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember hearing this as well, but
yeah,
I didn't read too much into it.
So, well, no. So I believe this is what
bookie.
I think was going to happen. I think they were going to sack Puel and bring in Brendan Rodgers, but unfortunately, the tragedy happened with Kunvichai, and then you can't sack a manager in that point. And then they said, "Okay, Brendan, let's do the deal at the end of the year, so you can go do the 10 in a row under Celtic." And then just Puel was so shit against Palace that they did it. Yeah, I don't think Dakarov is the best thing to do. I've got to say, compared to the other players, given that assist, he's not been truly awful. Thomas is the one that's going to get sent off right now, and Hamza, I don't think, has really covered himself in glory. But even Hamza, I think you could keep on. But I think just Thomas cannot. He's beaten by the wing back for Wrexham. We were playing wing backs tonight, by the way. Yeah.
Why they ever thought that matchup was going to work, it was retarded, by the way, to be honest with you.
I mean, to be fair, Luke Thomas has got way more Premier League minutes than Cabora, but playing in the under 21s for Man City is different gravy, isn't it?
Let's watch him donkey.
Like, you know that I always talk about the Milan Dream Team. The Milan Dream Team, they had 6 foreigners, but back then you were only allowed to play 3. So what their team even said is they said that like the training was harder than the match day, because if you got into the match day, it meant that you were better than the other 3. And they had like, Ruud Gullit,
Mate,
Marco
what?
van Basten. That
This
was
is body
nasty.
a 16-year-old, you fucking scumbag piece of shit. Fucking hell, man. Fuck off,
Windass,
Windass, you bitch. I hope you're injured. Get the fuck out of here. Mate, he needs to be... How has the ref not booked him for that?
He might still.
Let's look at this again. Oh, come on, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, elbow in the
fucking-
face, man. That's ridiculous. And you know why? It's because he's upset because he should have done better with that opportunity that he had. Oh, wow. He played for Marseille in France. Fair enough. In France, yeah. Benfica
He's
and
faking
Bremen.
an
Wow.
injury to get out of this booking. Scumbag.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Wink's ability to pass in stride of his leading foot. Man, I play that position these days. I wish I could play like that. The way he takes it on the half turn and glides around the pitch. Love it. So, do you know what I'd say, though? Look at these stats. Just one shot on target. That's where Leicester need to improve things, man. Like 75% possession. That's very good. But Monga did step on his ankle, to be fair. With that haircut, with that hair dye, who would ever dye their hair, Luke, right? Who would ever get highlights?
Only people of good taste.
Yeah, if you are outside of the UK, you can use Fox Sub and watch all the games.
Usually you need a VPN, but I believe how it works is if the game is on Sky, you usually do not need a VPN. And I believe this is on Sky right now.
They should advertise that more often. I didn't know that.
Is this on Sky
Because let
right
me
now,
tell
Neil?
you, no, they don't tell you that you can do that. Because I think if you live in the country, like believe it or not, if I could actually watch Leicester play via Fox's Hub, I would get it. Like I don't want to get Sky Sports and pay £50 to see Leicester play once every month.
Yes, you
It's
can
like a
use
broken
it.
model.
You need a VPN. That's the only way you can watch it if you're inside the UK.
No, but what I'm saying
And
is outdated thinking, though. It's like they complain about piracy, but it's like if they made an option like that, I think they would make so much more money. I guess the problem is it might be unfair, right? Like, so Man United might end up with like, I don't know, 900 million revenue and the other teams don't. And the Premier League is where it is because it's quite a fair league in terms of the money distribution. Like, I don't know if you saw this comment, but the Leverkusen guy goes, we have to accept that right now the Premier League is even more desirable than the Champions League, and that they tried to sign a player and Leverkusen are in the Champions League and the player decided to go to Sunderland instead.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is insane, right? And why? Why are they going to Sunderland? Because Sunderland are probably offering them 10 grand a week more, right?
You reckon Ange is going to get sacked, Anil?
Ange, with Marinakis, anything is possible. But the thing I would say is that you can't just go from playing Nuno ball to Ange ball overnight. Oh, that was really nice by Bobby Reed.
You thought that the players that they brought on would be all right.
Monga. But I think you'd need to give Ange, like, honestly, to play his system properly, you'd need to give him like 20 games. But Marinakis, I don't think would do that. Like West Ham, they will improve massively quickly under Nuno because to play Nuno ball is not that complicated. Because like, you can't just go into a team overnight. Like I keep saying this to you guys. When Enzo Maresca had us playing the inverted fullback so well after 2 weeks, I literally said, okay, this guy is going to go to the top because I don't even understand how that's possible. Because you have to have all these charts and diagrams and like stopping people on a pitch and saying, you need to stand here, you need to stand there. Okay, half time. If you need to go and grab yourself a drink, Luke, go do that.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, what are we thinking after that half? If you look at the stats, had plenty of possession, 75% possession, but just one shot on target. But fairly decent performances from a lot of the players. Jordan James with the goal. Let me just play his theme tune again. Right, it's enough of that Welsh nonsense. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's hear from the Wrexham supporter, Michael. Wrexham needs to change up front, need Broadhead on and Sam Smith. I don't see Keeper scoring. He had his chance and blew it. Maybe. I think, the problem is look at these stats, Michael, right? With 26% possession, that's always going to be your difficulty. And that's the thing when you play teams that dominate possession is that, you're not going to get many chances, right? You can always get something off a set piece or playing it long, but yeah, I kind of agree with this. Wrexham do not look great. We really need a goal to show for it. Yeah, so there's the thing, Ray, with my analysis earlier, right? It's that, as I say, there's so many times where we've got the ball forwards, but there's not enough people that are trying to get into the box to score. But look, maybe that will come with time. Thomas off, Hamza off, get Ricky and VK on, bring on IU and Steffi on later. IU to hold up the ball. Yeah, not the worst. Would you not play Carranza now, though, right? Because surely if we think we got the game, I don't know, it might be tempting fate, but if we want to get a game wrapped up, give him, a bit of an appearance. We're playing all right, says Bourbon Fox. Shape going forward looks cohesive. Problem is we have a handful of players on the pitch that just aren't great. Very sensible comment. I agree with you, Bourbon Fox. I think that's a very fair way of saying it. I think if you look at the patterns of play, the passing, the team shape, the coaching, it's all there. But oftentimes people are making bozo passes. The quality isn't quite there. And you actually seen that the one time we got the quality, we scored a goal. I think Bobby Reed's been okay, though, to be popular. Blaze, unpopular opinion, but Daka is actually doing well, spreading the defense, running quick. Yes, he's struggling to finishing it. He's doing the job. I think that's fair, Blaze, to be honest with you. I don't think he's been magnificent, but I would probably give him a 6 out of 10 right now. I think he could do a bit better, though, some of the chances that are being fed into him. Yep, stop the Daka hate. I think he's been making decent runs in, for sure. But, I'm still going to play it anyway just because I want to. Same old. We haven't had a goal scorer other than Vardy for a few years. Good point. If you bring on IE, we lose our press and then invite into the game. I say we look better overall with a faster striker leading the press. Stop that nonsense. Winks' best game so far this season. Do you know what? Weirdly enough, Oddfish, I don't think he's been that good. I think he's been all right, and he's definitely doing the job of controlling the tempo of the game, which is what I think is the most important thing for his position. But I think he's been better in quite a few other games. But do you know what? It just says a lot about quality that he can not even be anywhere near his best and still be... And you might not even be wrong. They could be his best, James scores before Boo, but not surprised. Booby's really got to, fix things up. Bobby, our best player. I'm not saying that. I just think he's not been too bad. But, what do you think of him? Can't hate on Daka too much. Has more assists than Mavidi. It's true. Monga disappointing. Still finding his feet, I think. I think you're being a bit harsh there. I know what you mean. The end product's not there. But he's clearly got their fullbacks on toast. And I think he's occupying their space and giving them something to think about. The live table looking very nice. Yeah, let's not count our chickens too much, but it is good. Daka's ball to JJ was one of his best Leicester moment, for sure. But that's good. I would say, though, if you're a coach, you work on that stuff all the time in training. And when you see it come off in a match, very satisfying feeling. Been solid for sure. No moments of magic yet. I think that's Bobby Reed would agree. Bring back a Marty. Hopefully not. IE slows the game down. Yeah, that's obviously his issue, isn't it? There he is. He's back. And he's got the Leicester top on. I'm going to tag team for you if you don't mind. I'm going to pop out just for a second.
Of course, good sir. Right, gentlemen, how are we? Right, JJ and Winks is the way to go. This is the double pivot that we all wanted to see, in my opinion. I'm actually surprised that Marty's gone for this, to be honest. Do we reckon we're going to see this for the rest of the season? We'll have to wait and see. I think it's interesting that we see now Bobby Donkey over Reed is now the other option for the 10, who, in my opinion, actually hasn't been too bad this first half, in my opinion. I think Monga has looked strong. He doesn't look out of place at all, which is crazy, especially started against fit fullbacks. We're going to see this guy get fouled a lot. I definitely think he looks well up for it. His actual football brain for his age is just as impressive as his absolute physical attribute. Everything about this kid is amazing. He's born to play football. I'm very excited to see. He's doing a lot of the heavy lifting as well. This kid's 16, man. It's fucking wild. Oh, Luke. What the you lick Ethan. Footsack you and I, buzz. Louis Page might still be rehabbing. No, I think he just played, to be honest. I think he actually played on the right wing for the youth academy, if I'm not mistaken, just this recently against I don't know who it was that they played, but I think Evans scored right at the end there. Fatawi looks slowly frustrating. Yeah, to be honest with you, mate, he's not had a very good game. He's actually been on a bit of I would say actually a form slump, to be honest with you, the last couple of weeks. I wouldn't say it's bad, but for his standards, and how he came out the gate a nil. Fatawi's not been his usual best. He's always been a little greedy, but his decision making has not been very great. So he's actually been quite greedy. There was that moment,
Yes,
halfway through when Winks was screaming at him to release the ball. He had the ball. He's played himself into danger unnecessarily. If that was Enzo, it would have been hold off at halftime.
yeah, I agree with this from Nath. That I think would absolutely cook Ramsey, JJ, and Winks, and you can see that's exactly why Marty wanted those players. But yeah, for Tau, I definitely agree with that. I think that's something that Enzo drilled into him as well. I mean, I understand him, right? He's trying to make that step up from you being like part of the system to being the main man. He wants to be the guy that bags every week, a bit like Salah. Because I've got to say that if you look at Salah for Liverpool, he's another example of sometimes he's guilty of not playing the pass, but he just puts it in the top corner. Like I remember when Mane was playing with him, that Mane used to get pissed. But it's like when Salah would score 31 goals a season, what can you really say? But I think Vatau does need to be a bit more, because the crazy thing is that if he goes back to being more generous, he's going to end up scoring more goals because we're going to make more chances. Yeah, Fatau doing home run football because we're struggling. Well, Childress saying so far back, Fatau has it. This is a very good point of view, Matthew. We've said this a lot in the tactical analysis, that you look at both wingers and most of the time they're getting isolated because they don't have the inside player to play into. And Jordan James is doing good, but you need... See, I would say that's what I was trying to make the point earlier, Luke, with the analysis, is that whenever we do that, there isn't enough times the fullback isn't bombing on to join the attack. We need to show it more often. Yeah, and the good one we've got that can really do it is Ricardo. That's the problem, is that none of the other players, like Luke Thomas ain't going to do that, Hamza ain't going to do that, and Christensen ain't going to do it. James Justin, if he had stayed, probably could have done it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's pretty telling, actually, that you highlight it like that. That two of Ricardo's goals have been box crashing, arriving late in the box, and he's a right back. Like usually, you can expect a right back a lot. Like we've seen it in failed systems before, that they would join in and the build-up play, and they'll get more advanced up the pitch, but not box crashing in the way that Ricky P has. And that says a lot about our midfield, to be honest with you. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I say, it's the difference of the system is that, like, you know, you see Enzo do it a lot of the time with Cucurella, is that he inverts as an attacking midfielder rather than as a double pivot. But I think the difference is that Cucurella is great at that position. He understands when he's got to go and when he's got to stay. I don't think our fullbacks do right now. A lot of people talking about this is Fatawu being found out for being a one-trick pony. He's still more than capable of beating his man. I actually think he's more guilty of Buzz, is that he beats his man, but he's just greedy. So there's still a lot to work with because he's still cooking his man and getting through. He just needs to be more, like I say, more generous and lay it off. You know, he got a lot more success out of that Enzo by passing, I think, more often. Yeah, that's what Ricardo did on the Enzo in the champ that season. He did for sure. Yeah, Hamza's attempt at a back pass was awful. I mean, look, we're very lucky that that wasn't a goal. It should have been. I was looking at the XG just here, and in the end, let's just give this a refresh. Let's see what it was. So 0.94 XG to Leicester, 0.46 for Wrexham, and most of that came from that opportunity you're talking about.
I think people forget as well that how much defensive work Vitali used to do as well. He's actually quite physically dominant for his size as well. But I wouldn't say he's a one-trick pony, but in attack he can be.
Oh my goodness, we've made a little bit of a substitute appearance ourselves. Look who's shown up, boys.
What's going on, boys? You all right?
Lovely. Hey, what'd you make of that?
Oh, I'm happy, mate. I'm very, very happy. I'm happy with that. Yeah, big time. I messaged you guys on. Love it. Yeah, it was good, mate. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I don't know why you guys. I think was it you and then I said, "Is it just me or do we look really good?" And I think you said just you. But I thought we looked really good. I was really happy with what I saw.
Yeah, I can see where you're going now with the patterns of play. I just think we were basically looking at Patson Daka keeping on missing the ball. And I don't know, did you see Hamza's back pass? Or there are a few dodgy passes, like Wout Faze just smacked it out. And yeah, this is Jordan James's boyfriend. He has joined us at halftime. Very
How
happy.
could how could I not come on after JJ scored his first goal for Leicester? Box crasher, mate. Box crasher. Just what we need. Love it.
Lux produced his own sun cream. I bet he did. You won't need it for the rest of his holiday. But he was great though. And as you said, fair play to you, Lux. You called it in the last game. You said Jordan James is not a number 10. He's a number 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He's brilliant. And I think fair play. I've never seen Daka make such a nice give and go pass. It shows you that maybe even he can do that.
That was banging. That was banging. That little play. Yeah. I mean, obviously the only reason Daka's playing is because of rotation, right? I mean, you would have played, I think, otherwise. It's disappointing not to see Carranza, and he's had his moments, Daka, but yeah, he got the assist. It was a well taken tap on. I'm happy
What does
with it.
Lux
Yeah,
think of Thomas's bozo moments?
it's Luke Thomas, isn't it? This is the guy that Luke said was the Roberto Carlos of the championship. So that's what Luke
Did
said.
I fuck? What an allegation he's been fucking honking.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's going to get hold.
Yeah, Brigham, good comment here. The game will open up here. Wrexham will try and get something just to make more chances for us to put them to the sword. I mean, look at these stats, 74% possession. But as I was saying to the guys, just one shot on target. That's what I think I'm a bit disappointed with. But look at that. We've almost had 3 times as many passes as they have. So there we go. But yeah. I think you've got to say that Bobby Reed looks way better than IU in the 10. Absolutely agree with you. And do you know what? I could just bring this up quickly. Let's see if I can.
Bobby's a smart player. I think this is why me and Luke said it. It's why Marty likes him, right? He's a smart player. So I'm not surprised to see him doing okay, to be honest with you. But yeah, better than, I mean, we just look. I mean, Wrexham aren't great. That always helps, of course. But we look a decent side tonight. We look a good side, and 45-minute performance, in my opinion. Some will disagree, but I thought we had a great time. Yeah. Are you looking for the stats, Anil?
No, I was actually looking for the live scores, but I'll read them off to you. So at the moment, Bristol City are leading Ipswich Town 1-0. That's at Ashton Gate. And Sheffield United, Chris Wilder, 1-0 up against Southampton. So just shows you. Middlesbrough versus Stoke 0-0. So that's very good for us in the table so far. But I think the comment, and I agree, Neil's put here. Remember, those who said Ipswich and Southampton up, and maybe we end up relegated, It's looking much better for us so far.
Oh, mate. Oh, I thought that was a beer and it's a fucking sparkling water. I'm going to have to...
Oh,
That's
like finding out Hamza Chowdhury has started, hasn't it? That same feeling. Like he just rage quit. Don't blame him. We're still on the hot seat. So do you know what? There was that rumor that went round at the weekend. There were a lot of players that were unhappy with their manager and the system that they were playing. And I think that was Southampton. They do reckon that as a team, they're playing for their manager. But I mean, at least with Ipswich, then you saw Ipswich versus Sheffield United and they absolutely spanked them and Philogene played well. You can still see that they probably will click. It's just going to take a bit of time with their new signings. Southampton, though. But I don't know about you, Luke. Are you surprised by that? By how bad that they've been? Because he looked like such a good manager when he played the Lons against us.
I think, I'm definitely surprised because I was fucking glazing him worse than I was at Wrexham guest the other day. I said they were going to win the league and stuff like that. But I think that now, the more you look at it, the more garbage that their squad really is, compared to the last time in the championship. I definitely think there's a bit of column A and column B. I do think that he should be getting a lot better out of the players that he's got. But I do think that their squad is very average. It's not as good as last time. There's small bones still there. For God's sakes, the guy looks like Lex Luger, man. The guy's a proper creep fucking dinosaur looking bastard. But By the way, Ragsy said that Smallbone is one of the best players in the league, by the way. So if anyone here like fucking remembers Ragsy and sees him pop up on the channel from time to time, that's one of his honking takes. Willie Smallbone, the player of the season this year, he said.
Yeah, Christensen's coming out.
Locks heard him say it.
Bain. Well, Luke Thomas was on a yellow card, and honestly, he was honking. He just looked like a red card waiting to happen.
Wow.
Take that off, man. For God's sake, take that fucking ballsack groin guard off your chin, you fucking belly.
He's not allowed to, though, is he? That's insurance.
It's a gimp mask.
It is.
Duck's got one on his way to Denmark right now. He's going to wear one. He reckons it's VK's setting a trend.
Yeah. Yeah, VK. Yeah, VK on for Thomas. It says, yeah. Okay. Nice.
Buzz, I agree with you. I've got to say that Marty, and you know what? It's not just that, but I think some of the other things as well. Like, I put you in the analysis that I just was hoping that IE was not going to be the 10, and he hasn't. He's put another player on, and I think that's worked. He's moved JJ back to the 8. He does, like, either he watches blue tinted glasses, and who can blame him, or he's a good manager. Maybe both are true. You would be a good manager if you watch blue tinted glasses, in my humble opinion. So.
Yeah. If JJ gets a hat trick, we're jumping in the pool.
You better
100%.
do.
If he scores a hat trick, Mrs. Locks is going to receive some healthy long strokes from your boy here.
That happened at 1-0, mate. That happened at 1-0.
It started and finished within seconds.
100%. VK gonna have a generational stinker? Nah. He's better than Thomas.
Yeah, and also I think his role is pretty straightforward in that if you're the manager, oh, it's good again from Bobby Reed's just done 2 passes already this half. And quite good.
On, JJ.
He's man of the match so far, isn't he, for sure?
Much better position as well.
Oh, look, there's no one giving him an option there for Tau. There was the fullback making the run.
I told you to invest in JJ stocks, guys.
Hey, look, what can Fatau really do there? No support.
What did you boys think to Monga in the first half?
Excellent.
Well, I wouldn't say that. No, I think he was a bit disappointing, but I think you could still see that he had the beating of his fullback. Like, they elbowed him in the face, Windass.
The only disappointing thing he did, Anil, was that horrible shot on goal. We're all allowed one.
Yeah. Look, I think he could drive at his man more and take people on, but I think that will come in time with confidence and as he develops his physicality. I still think for a 16-year-old, it's crazy to think you can be that good.
Here we go.
I think you'd be.
Yeah. Nice.
Not bad.
Like you could make an argument that this is the best right back he's faced all season, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree.
Yeah, and he's looked pretty decent against him. Because as you said when we played Fiorentina, didn't he? He played that Brazilian guy, and you're like, he's not. What was his name, Dodo or something like that, and he still looked good against him. Yeah, Michael, you're quite right. I was saying, I think he's your best player, but I think by a long way.
Do you think we're better out of possession or worse with Daka instead of Ayew?
In this game, I think we look a bit better because his ability to press them is better. But I do think Locks it's a bit horses for courses. Like again, if you're playing it. But to be fair, right, at the start of the game, I did say I was concerned about having Daka up against a team that was playing a low block. But actually, you got to give Daka some respect that he's causing them problems because of his pace and he's like forcing them deeper still and he's pressing quite well.
I think you guys have got it wrong. I think it's actually more down to Bobby Donkey over Reed, and the 10 has actually done a half decent job. He's a lot better at linking up play because of his pace compared to Ayew. I think that you guys are missing that. What the fuck?
What are you doing, mate?
There, man? For God's sake.
Yeah.
I saw Fass's booking in the first half. That was pretty shocking.
That was bozo.
Uh-oh.
Fucking Jakob tried to turn into De Bruyne for fucking 2 seconds. What the fuck was that?
So Coley didn't start then. There were rumours that Coley was going to start.
Yeah. I think that's smart though, because the thing is, I was saying is that Okoli is not good at the aerials, and Kiefer Moore wins everything in the air.
Kiefer
He's
Moore
not
would have
good at anything.
absolutely, Kiefer Moore would have bullied Coley.
At the same
I'm
time,
really
you can say that
surprised.
Fass isn't the best in terms of dealing with the aerials either, but I think he is better than. Like I said, that's the surprising thing of Okoli. You'd think someone of his size would be good.
He's been really disappointing and a bit of a shock, to be honest. The thing is, fast. He's got his bozo moments, but like at this level, like if teams are playing like a deep block, he can take the ball and progress it up the pitch, and he can join in and build up. Whereas you will never see that from Okoli, and if he did, you wouldn't trust him on the end of the ball either.
Yeah. Well, look at that chance he created for Dako. That was well phased, by the way.
Yeah, it was. That's what I mean, man. Like he will take that ball up the pitch. He fancies. Like I've said this many times before. Like phase at like child, like youth level would have wanted to be a striker. What are you laughing at?
Neil's coming.
He has got that final boss.
Final boss. Nice one, Neil. Locks, man. And Neil's been slagging me off. He reckons I was sucking that Wrexham fam off on the preview. He's been fucking making me second guess my whole life.
Nah, Luke did the classic Luke because he gives it the big one, doesn't he? But then he pussies out.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna fucking slag off this. Ooh,
oh, that was really good play. Come on, guys. Mongo. Oh, that was very nice passage of play
we'll
there.
have a Swansea fan, or I'll just be a dick right at the gate.
Yannick.
Yeah, Vestergaard's done well there. Yeah.
Turning the screws here. Come on, give us 2-0.
No, Luke shit himself when he started slagging off Danny Ward, and the bloke said that he interviewed him.
Yeah, I did. I died inside. I was just like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
Just put it this way: I've never seen Luke be so respectful to any other opposing fan before.
He's a guest, though. You know, when someone gives up their time, you know, you're not going to be an asshole. I've seen, you know, I'll call someone out right now. You know, who's a scumbag piece of fucking shit? Is that Sky Blue Fan TV? That little fucking hobbit and that other asshole, the lights and shit around him can suck me clean up and scumbag. They had Chris on once, and Chris gracefully went on from LTID, and they just all four of them just had fucking hung shit on him for the whole time, and Chris didn't even do anything wrong. It was just so classless. I really hated it. And ever since then, I've kind of thought to myself, you know, if you're going to have someone on there taking their time off to come on your channel and they're not a dick, you know, show some respect. You know what I mean? Like, it's all fun and games to have banter and stuff like that. But if someone's doing that, have some class, man, you know? So, yeah. I fucking hope we absolutely bend Cov over next time we play. I'm going to go on the chat and fucking light those assholes up. Fucking one of them looks like he's been hiding under a fucking bridge like a trolley toilet, like dick.
Let's get a second goal.
Nice. George James again finds Fatawu. Yeah. This is really good this half so far. The passing between the team. Oh, Bobby Reed, that was a great touch. Oh.
Mate, this
Mongo
kid's
again, they just can't get the ball off him, Hamza.
Mongo's just playing his own game here, lads.
No, this is like peak Enzo ball there. Look at that. We just got them completely sat back in 2 banks of 4, wave after wave of pressure. This is what I was hoping we'd see under Marty a bit more often.
And they've not really got the pace to hit you in the break, do they?
No. Yeah, it's going to be Kabor only, really, is the only one you'd think. And if we pin him back, you know, if he's occupied with Mongo the whole game.
Anil, I want to ask you an important analysis question right now after this sexy play from Mongo.
Oh, he's beating him again. Christensen cross. Yep, good cross. Oof.
I'll save it for full time.
This is a really nice passage of play. This has been like 3 or 4 minutes of just consistent attacks. Oh, Ipswich with a penalty. What a fucking surprise. Jammiest bastards of all time.
What's our possession? Let's have a look. It will come on in a sec, won't it, on screen?
Yeah. It's got to be like 80% in this half alone. Maybe not overall, though.
$72 in total.
Yeah. Yeah, the only bad thing is it's 1-0. It's always a dangerous scoreline.
Yeah, I think this is what people ask for. You know, when we say we need a 90-minute dominant performance, it's not just this for 90 minutes, but get your second or third goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just make it that it's completely a golfing class.
I wonder if Cody's on the bench for Wrexham.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Bozo pass from Chowdhury, by the way.
Oh,
This should have been fucking right. Where we are.
That's
53
hilarious
minutes.
from Daka. He had the pace to get back and make the challenge, but because he's Daka, he gives the ball away anyway.
We're bordering that 60-minute mark. We need to see Ricky P come on soon for Hamza Chowdhury, for God's sake.
Nah, he won't make that change.
You reckon?
Because why would you? When you're in complete dominance of the ball,
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
you're not gonna. You bring Ricky P on if you need to score the goal, like you're still 0-0.
go on.
Well,
Oh,
unlucky. That's a relationship that you want to see
Yeah.
improve. Yes,
Look at
he's
that,
been
look at
brilliant
that.
today,
Beautiful.
Jordan James.
Makes up for
That was
fucking
brilliant.
Chowdhury's bozo moment.
Matty James,
Matty
is about to
James.
come on, is he? Always welcome at King
Legend.
Power, Matty James. Brilliant for us in that promotion season under Pearson. Well defended. Yannick again, man. He's been
He's been
wicked
superb
today. What? Wrexham won
Odd
the
fish.
league.
The guys look like they are enjoying playing football again.
They are.
agree
We
with
want to
that.
see more than one. Because again, how many shots on target have we had in this half? Have we had any? No, none.
Locks, what time is it in Turkey right now, lad?
11 p.m. 11 p.m. at the minute, mate. Yeah, 2 hours ahead of UK.
What were the
Are you in the
temperatures like?
doghouse?
24 or something?
Mrs. Locks asleep. Sorry, Anil.
Nah, we had an early start, so she's settling down, mate. Yeah, we had an early night because we were up at 3:30 this morning.
Oh, lovely ball over the top.
Daka.
Like a touch.
I hate you, Tucker. You fucking donkey. Fuck off, man.
It wasn't the greatest pass in the world, but at the same time.
I hate him. I hate
Okay,
Hanson.
what? Yeah, I just don't see us scoring enough games playing like this. That is, Boho. That's the thing we've got to fix. It's that still, it looks really pretty. It looks really pleasing on the eye. A lot of control, but
Yeah.
you can't go through games with one shot on target, right? It's got to be a truly dominant team. Would be having like 15. But it's improvement. And one thing I will say, you can't expect just a team. It's rare that a team just hits the ground running with a new manager. It's still much better than it was under Van Nistelrooy or Cooper.
Let's see this set piece.
Yeah, Daka did win it back. So that's the thing. If you make a mistake,
No.
go on JJ, get an assist.
Drill it low.
Three winks. Oh, cross.
Hit it.
He did. It was off balance in the end. But... Oof.
Donkey overread.
Keep saying that, Luke. It means he's going to score.
I give him good luck. Yeah, keep
I think
shaking
so
your head.
far, if we did the match ratings, Donkey over Reed will get a fairly respectable one, I would have thought.
I think
I'll be
that's
the
fair,
first
yeah.
to get that. That is fair.
Would you say Aaron Ramsey's just going to start on the bench next game? Bobby to start?
Is he back next one, or does he have to sit out one more?
He's back next.
He's back next. Yeah, I think he'll start Reed, to be honest, and bring on Ramsey off the bench.
Yeah, Ramsey did nothing to impress before he got sent off in that game whatsoever. I don't understand why people keep thinking he's going to fix all our problems. He's not proved anything to say such, and he's had a huge layoff before that too. So I think we should all curb our expectations on Ramsey, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Yeah. Ask, answered. Oh, that was really well won back. But that was working as a team. I love it.
Why is not more players getting forward here?
Why are you doing that? I hate you.
Oh, almost.
That's a foul?
I thought
that
so
not a foul?
too, but
No, it's a dive from the Zambian fucking fraud.
I think they brought both. Yeah, they brought each other down. Doruk is... Oh, you're from Turkey, mate. Nice one. Southampton 2-1 up.
Wow, what a turnaround.
Come on, boys. Get this second goal.
And coming around to 60, that's when you'd expect another change if there was to be one.
Yes.
I think Matty James is coming on now.
Yeah. What about for Leicester, though?
Yeah, Ricky Pay, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, if
I think
don't-
Daka will be the next one, but I don't think he's necessarily... He's just been okay.
Yeah.
I think he's been honking.
Well, he got the assist, innit? So
Yeah.
he's going to get some brownie points for that.
Mate,
It's not just that, but I think to be fair to him, unlike every other game he's played so far this season, he has actually looked involved in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not passing him by, he's actually doing something. Unfortunately, sometimes what he's doing is falling over, but...
Come on, lads.
Because say Carranza in the last game, not only did he not really do that much, but
Beautiful
that was
ball
good
to
from
Ty.
Fatah. Go on, Hamza. Nice! Oh, unlucky, mate.
Unlucky. Broadhead and Matty James coming on.
Oh, Broadhead is dangerous.
Yeah.
I think Matty James will struggle with his physicality against this midfield.
Apparently
There can be only
atmosphere's
one
awful at the
James,
ground.
and it's a Welshman in the King Power.
Yeah. Oh my god! Apparently at half time in the Sheffield United game, the ball was rolling towards Chris Wilder. He kicked it into the crowd. It hit a fan in the face, and the ref sent him off.
No way, really?
Yeah.
And now they're 2-1 down. What's he done? Oh, they took Ben Sheaf off as well with Matty James. Interesting.
Windass come off, yeah.
Yeah.
Matty James on captain.
Well, he had an indifferent game, Windass. Well, got to watch out for Broadhead. I think. Did he score against us in one of the games? I can't remember.
Potentially. No, I'm not joking, Sean. That actually happened. If you go, just type in Chris Wilder on Twitter and you'll see a video of it.
Was it against a Southampton fan or his own fan?
Right,
I don't know.
I bet it's his own fan because they are at home. That'd be even more hilarious. Could you imagine?
Yeah, I can't watch it because I'm in Turkey and I don't have a VPN at the minute. But yeah, I think it might have been his own fan. I think he went into the stand to apologise, but the ref sent him off.
Do you want me to DM you my VPN logs?
It's all good. I probably won't use it now. Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
I've got it on my phone, just not on my laptop. Ooh.
Oh,
If you need it,
that's
just
exactly
message
what
me,
we
Logs,
wanted
and
to
I'll send
avoid
you.
as soon as he's come on.
Cheers, brother. Come
This is dangerous
on.
here. What was that?
Hey.
What was
Nah, he's
that?
too tired from making that run.
What was that?
He was staring at Victor's.
Yeah,
Get
and got
that.
distracted. But now they've got a new threat, though. You can see now they've got a bit of pace on the other side. There's something to watch out for. Hamza is booked on that side too.
That's a decent ball out wide.
It was, wasn't it?
It's out play though. Yeah. Do you know what, Hamza? Every time he takes a throw in, it is a foul throw.
Daka was open there. Go on, Victor. I bet Mavadidi will get 20 minutes, you know.
Yep, I think he will.
Nice.
Yeah, he's played well,
Nice.
hasn't
Mate, that's a fucking red.
Not even a foul, mate. Shocking.
Was it?
That should have
he?
been
Every
a foul.
time
I think.
they point the whistle when Monga's around, they normally give Monga a yellow anyway, right?
Mate, he just slid into the fucking back of him. What the fuck was that? This ref's an absolute donkey.
I wish Daka's first instinct wasn't to look backwards. Yeah. What you got in your locker, Victor?
Chowdhury's had a much better second half.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he's popping up a lot more in this half. It's like he's been instructed to go forward more in this half, though. That, you know what? That's something to keep an eye out for, because I couldn't even answer you. Like, Conscious, when he's in chat, he says, I don't understand why when Hamza's on the pitch compared to Ricardo, he just doesn't go as forward as often.
Much better.
Because is it an instruction from Marty, or is it just it's his natural instinct not to go forward? Oh, nice. See, we need to see more of that, more of those two linking. Wow,
Wrexham
I
have
can't
done
believe
well
they're
there.
trying to pay it out from the back. Fair play.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to seeing what match ratings players get here. Oh,
Go on, Monga, foul him.
Go on, Victor. Nice.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah, he defended
Well
well.
done. Yeah. But no, Luke thinks Thomas is the Roberto Carlos of the championship.
Okay, that was right.
He done well there.
I miss a Marty. He'd be Monga's bodyguard.
To be fair, though, the bodyguard thing is something I'd like to see us do a bit more. I do think that they don't defend Jeremy Monga enough.
Yeah, I feel like Ayu kind of. I've seen him do it a couple times, but yeah.
There he is.
Here we go.
Speaking of,
Yo,
he's
Luke
currently
Ducks.
007. Hopefully, well, it'd be a bit harsh to still him 008 if he doesn't get anything today.
Luke Ducks messaged you on the WhatsApp group.
Saying what?
About VK.
Like, of course. Tell him to stop being a fucking cuck and join us, chat shit with Vic again, you actually fraud. I've just said it. Again, Dak is a flop.
Do you think? Go on. Do you think Marty's reason for playing Monga today is just rotational? Do you think it's actually because Monga deserved a chance over
Both.
Mavididi? Bit of both.
I think it's
Colin
more
Maynard.
rotation.
I mean, we got Swansea in what, 5 days? So
That's why it'll be interesting to see who starts that one.
yeah.
I think it'll be Mavididi, though. Like, to be fair, Monga's definitely looked good, but I don't know about you, but I'm a bit surprised he still hasn't looked like, oh my god, you literally can't drop him from the team yet.
Yeah. Oliver Skip.
Yeah, he'll probably come on for
Not Jordan
JJ, I bet.
James. Not JJ.
What the fuck are we doing?
We're gonna. If JJ comes off for Skip, we're gonna concede. There's my prediction.
Winks could take Winks off. Winks is
Why not
controlling the
Mario?
game.
Don't know what's worse than JJ coming off or Winks.
Reed's taking off Bobby Reed.
Nah, that's fair. That means JJ's playing in the 10 again then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh on Reed, who's had a good game, but he hasn't played a full 90 yet, so I'm guessing that's what the thinking is, and he just wants the energy levels.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But the thing
let's
is that, like, you know, I was looking at the stats again. We had one shot on target the whole game. I mean, that's a massive concern. It's like, you know, we're playing quite nice stuff. It's quite attractive. We look decent at times, but we're just not really asking enough questions.
Let's see how Skip does alongside Winks now.
Yeah, Carranza.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Carranza will come on in a bit because I think the Dakar is starting to fade a little bit here.
Yeah, and he's got a jacket and everything. I don't think he's playing tonight. I think he's been told.
Come on, boys. What you got?
Carranza must be honking in training. You never know. Could be another Eduard.
Did I see Carranza drinking Red Bull? I hope so.
Nice.
Yeah, other people are saying it.
Watch that header.
Ooh. Boho said that's the thing in L. We are not creating enough. One shot on target versus West Brom, and now again today, not good enough. Yeah, I get it. I get the concerns. But... Go on, Abdul. Wow.
I'm borderline ready to call for him to get subbed, to be honest with you. I can't believe I'm saying this.
For who? Are you?
Sorry. That's a good question, by the way. Because we always just say that he's a non-negotiable on the right wing, but who is the replacement on the right wing, squad option-wise, if need be, for Fatawi? Because I can't think of one.
What does Buzz say? I'll say Abdul is horrid today. What do you reckon, Nil? Because I think Abdul's had some stick over the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's not as good as he was earlier in the season. That's for sure. As we keep
Ramsey.
saying it, is it because those wingers aren't getting enough support from the eights? Because when he does look good is when someone makes like a run to help him out, like it be either Hamza or Jordan James. When he's not,
Yeah.
and this applies to both the wingers. When the winger is like 1-on-1, but I think it's something you've got to look at, right? Because we know that Mavadidi and Fatawi should be two of the best wingers in the championship. So they're both not looking so good. Is it something deeper than just saying it's they're both having off games?
Of course,
Ramsey can play right wing. He can actually. That's a good point.
But both wingers are missing the eights alongside them that we saw at Enzo big time. Much more Mavadini than Fatawi. Jesus.
I think you're right though. Yeah, Abdullah's missing Wilf. I think on that right side.
So you do see it from time to time. Like I say, one of the players making that run, but I just don't think we're making that run enough.
Yeah.
Look, did someone drop like a massive fucking amount of plates or something near?
No idea. I heard some.
Nah, they're probably just doing the cleaning it all up at the end of the night. I'm guessing at the restaurant now.
Ah, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Go on, Winks, you sexy bastard.
Go on.
All right, go on, Mavadidi. Holds the ball up.
Oh.
Wavelength. Oh, that's soft. We're playing too safe. I don't like this. I would agree with you, Buzz. It's good to control the game, but like I think we should be doing this at 2-0, not 1-0. And then you can see Wrexham are going for it. Oh, they are taking Kabor off though. But energy matters. Yeah, we need a second.
Robert, lots of signs outside the stadium asking for people to be quiet as they go past in case they wake the players up.
Veteran in McLean.
What'd you say, Luke?
McLean's has come on. Crafty veteran.
Yeah. Someone said get Spacker up.
Skip, mate. What the fuck?
Did you just book Skip? Oh my god.
Oh, it was a stupid bozo challenge. He's an absolute honky.
That was a
bozo. That was a bozo. 100%. Well. His hair looks like it's grown back a bit. What the hell?
Not the only one that went to Turkey, clearly. Keep looking at that bench to see if there's any more activity. Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are unnecessary letting Wrexham get back into this.
Come on.
Go on, VK.
Oh.
I always think he's better than Thomas.
What? I think that was a foul.
Looks like Ayu's coming on, somebody said.
Interesting.
Is that a corner for them
Edvard
or not?
confirmed.
No.
Wrexham
we're
are
allowing them to
definitely
go
going
in
to sack.
confidence. I agree. No, it is a corner for them. Okay.
They're definitely going to sack Parkinson. You know, at some point in the next couple of months.
I don't know. It depends. Like they said in a match preview that they claimed it was just 3 hits. We'll have to see what their real thinking is. It's 30 million. I mean, that's a bigger outlay than us this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good claim, Jakob.
Nice, Jakob. Proving the
I'll be honest.
frauds
I
of
don't know what the
BTG
score is,
wrong.
but I got a feeling that it might be more Chris Davies at Birmingham that's in trouble because they really fucking went for it, didn't they?
Yeah, I was reading today that, I mean, those clowns over at the second tier pod, but they were saying that he's just not. His team selections are poor, apparently. Chris
Okay.
Davies.
Because the thing is, it's in the summer. They just basically, whenever there was a chance to sign someone, rather than thinking about it, they just went for it. That's what it felt like, right? Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But normally, a team that does that, you're expecting them to fully go for it, right? And they're not.
Birmingham are losing 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, that's what I mean. That is not a good look to a team that has signed nothing. Oh, shot for shot, mate. We are being too safe, guys. Man.
Mate, we're just dog shit when Oliver skips on the pitch. Like, we're just so bad when
That's
he's on the
true.
pitch. I mean, I get what Marty's doing. You've got to try and use him and improve him, right?
Yeah.
For 20 million quid. But
I thought he was going to start him. I was calling for it in the preview. I'm not surprised he's playing, to be honest. But yeah, it's unfortunately, we've tried everything to get him involved in the team now at 2 different levels, and he's honking at both.
Oh, that's not
JJ
good.
looks knackered, somebody said. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
So avoidable. So avoidable.
Anil, you say so avoidable, but would you also say so predictable?
It is because we're just letting them come onto it and grow into the game. But as soon as that was 1-on-1 as well, they found Vestergaard 1-on-1. That was terrible.
Right. Listen, we definitely need to get Ricky P on now, for God's sake. We
I
need
do
some
think
kind of.
Vestergaard should have handled that better.
Let's see this again.
Yeah, it's peeled off onto Vestergaard 1-on-1.
Marty out. Are you smoking crack, bro?
Skip, of course, doesn't cover his man again. Skip's been horrendous.
Marty's definitely got it wrong with the subs, let's be honest.
This is what we said the other.
I think
This is what we
Vestergaard
said
needs
the
to be a
other
bit
day.
stronger there. Just clatter him. They did just fall asleep. And this is a problem, right? So we've dominated the half. We haven't had a single shot on target. Just wrap the game up. And now, now we got to go for it.
I'd bring on Ayu and Ricardo, and we'll win.
Yeah, immediately.
Ayu and Ricardo.
Immediately.
Get them both on. Yeah.
Now, bring them on now. Yeah, it was asleep. Just falling asleep.
I agree with this though, Blaze. They should just haul him off 10 minutes later.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
He's been a honking.
Honestly, man.
You know what, Michael? Matty James, I was going to say that he has been pulling the strings as soon as he's come on. That's been the biggest difference to Wrexham. Actually got someone connecting a few passes.
Again, just... Winks already looks unsettled as well. And
yeah,
Skipper obviously immediately is obviously...
Said it as well. That's another game that we take Jordan James off and we look worse.
He's on still, isn't it, James?
Oh my god. We're going to lose, lads. We're going to lose.
That's how I feel right now. I think the thing as well, that like Monga, because he retains the ball so well, gives a lot of us a team to get time to get in shape and stuff like that. Mavididi doesn't have that same effect. Let's see what he can do here, though. Oh.
Was that cleared by Skip?
Mate, get Skip off. Legit.
Now we're
I
playing with
genuinely
more
mean
urgency,
this.
but it's like, where was this 10 or 15 minutes ago? You can't just do that on the 1-0.
Mavididi, man, come on, bro. We should have just let Mongo play the 490. Yes, going fast, beautiful.
That should be a foul. That.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do,
Well done,
Skip? Fucking dog shit.
Oh, JJ's still on. Okay.
Sacked.
Come on. Like, there's just no movement for Skip. He bounces the pass off Winks, and then he just
He just stands there,
just
does
stays.
nothing.
Yeah.
He's
Where's
obviously
he
been
running?
instructed. He's been instructed to be the further advanced, and basically we've got a single pivot in Winks right now. Immediately, if you look back, Skip was much more advanced.
Yeah.
Problem is, he's not doing anything to join in the attack or in defend either. He's just running around, just being a fucking waste of space. Don't fuck around, Yannick.
That's half decent cross,
Man.
to be fair.
Oh my god.
Fucking Abdul, man, just sprung.
Did Abdul not just get clattered in the box?
No, he put himself on the line there, really.
Oh my god. Bro, this commentator is so intense.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. I mean, I'll say one thing. At least you've stepped it up massively after going behind. But it's just, where was this? We should have done this at the start of the half. Just wrap up the game.
Mate, we're gonna get fucking
He's on the
clattered
card,
on the
by the
break.
way. I think there's another goal in it. Don't know which way it is. Okay, yeah, Carranza and Ayew are both coming on. I'm guessing he's going to take off. Yeah, Daka off. I'm guessing he's going to take Jordan James off as well. Yeah, he has. Yeah. Going to probably put 2 strikers up top now. Probably, I'm guessing we're going to go 3-5-2. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Mavididi and Monga swap over again. And who are Wrexham bringing on? Who's number 28?
Fucking.
No, they're taking Kiefer Moore off. Okay, I'm guessing they're going for a faster striker here. Mate, it's such a frustrating game, though. This is just like a problem entirely of our own making. Very frustrating.
We're very lucky as well. Like, by all accounts, it should be 2-1 in favour of Wrexham because of that bozo moment.
That opportunity. I don't know. If you look at the XG, it wasn't as high as you thought it was. It was a mistake, though, for sure. But yeah, we're just not asking enough questions. I can't remember the keeper making the save this half, you know. Oh.
I just called Mavididi racist. He refuses to pass the Victor.
100% a duck statement.
Man, this is not going to be a good. Oh, apparently Skip's in the 10. Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
What?
Oh gosh. Oh.
Skip, what are you doing? You're in fast. You fucking idiots.
Oh my god, mate, this guy's sick.
Well, we're playing 3-4-1-2 now. So
Watch Skip. What, mate? I just implore you to watch the positions Skip is putting himself in.
Come on,
Yeah, he done well.
fucking, that's like Dobson looks like a child version of like Darwin Núñez. What the fuck?
There's a lot of people not happy with Marty in the comments.
Yeah, because it's a game that should have wrapped up with that much possession. Just no.
Nice pass, VK. You watching, Duck? Fucking dog poo.
Because if it's another draw, that's 4 draws in a row.
And we're supposed to be the big boys of the championship.
Yeah. Yeah, simply can't score 2 goals from 1 shot on target. Not creating enough quality chances, and Skip isn't going to help that.
I can't believe he brought Skip on. I don't think this is true. I think we show attacking patterns. But...
Yeah, we do, but what we can say is how often do those patterns lead to a scoring attempt? Very, very few. That was good by Ayew. Oh, nice. Nah, that was really nice by Winks.
Saucy. Okay, this is much better. Nah, ruined it. Too long. Skip,
That was a bad layoff there by Carranza. That was the idea. Nice. Go on, Steffi. Nice. Unlucky.
Mate, this guy's useless, bro. 008. Fucking love it.
There was a 008 in GoldenEye. It was Sean Bean.
No, he's 006. He's 006. Travelling.
Oh, was he? Was he? I thought it was 008.
He was 006. No, he's 006. I remember. Okay. I was actually looking this up the other day.
Okay, so 008 was the one that was killed then, was it?
I'm just going to watch that. It's not, yeah. Prevalent, I think his name was. I'm looking this up, actually.
Just put it in the net,
yep.
mate.
Already have.
No, I think with the system's supposed to create chances that, like, for that Jordan James goal, but the thing is, it's not creating it enough.
Well, bang a header in Carranza. What the fuck are you doing?
2 centre halves again.
I mean, at least we're using 2 centre halves for set pieces.
Yeah.
Did I miss some news then about a goalkeeper coach? When did this happen?
Oh, I saw it on Fox's talk. Yeah, apparently we're about to bring in Spanish goalkeeping coach.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't have the personnel for creating chances. That, I think, is also part of the problem, which is the thing with Ramsey. And I think that's the thing that we need to get another player in January, some more creativity. Because you just got too many players that are just jobbers, right? You know, Skip, Samare, Ayew even. Oh, I just don't see us scoring in this game. Yeah, Ramsey was supposed to be that creative player, but he bozoed it up, didn't he? That's harsh on the manager.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking toxic if we lose this, man.
Well, if we lose it, it should be.
I can see Fox's talk already.
Yeah, I bet.
Marty's cost us this game.
It's just like, what other subs could he have made? I think we need to think of as well.
He made unnecessary subs, is in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's made us worse, and it handed initiative to Wrexham.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Like, look, they're being more direct and making more chances on goal. Our cute patterns of play on they're not leading to anything. More creativity in my trousers. Oh yeah.
When JJ scored, yeah. Back in one.
Oh, Christensen, what are you
Fucking
doing?
Christensen. Nice,
That's
Winks.
a great
Beautiful
challenge
block
by
from Winks.
Winks. Okay, now he's been amazing since he's come on board there, doesn't he?
We're stuck now.
Yeah, they look more likely to win right now. You got to say it. That was all Christensen. What was he doing? He just had to see it through. Lackadaisical display from too many players. 4 minutes. Nah, I don't see a score in here now. Pump it long is the only thing that we've got left, probably.
Surprised to not see Ricky P get any minutes.
Well, resting him, I don't think is a problem, but yeah, it's a corner. Come on, big hard centre backs FC. Yeah, empty seats, zero atmosphere at the ground. That's the Leicester City of 25-26, unfortunately. Oh, classic time wasting.
Come on.
Deary me. Yeah, it's
Wow,
booked for foul anyway. You could see it coming a mile away.
That was fast, wasn't it? Jesus. Well, I can't believe we're not winning this game, man.
We should have. We had all the work done as well. Once we even got ahead early in the game. Early-ish.
Four games without a win.
Yeah.
Great. It's the last roll of the dice right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
It's annoying because the corner is exactly what you wanted, a way to load up the box. No. Okay, this is it. It's the last thing. Last throw of the dice.
Jordan to take. Uncle Ayu.
We need Ayu in the box. He's the one that finished it against Southampton, not taking the corners.
Oh my god. That's so bad.
Out of play. Bad. Fucking hell.
He should not be allowed in set pieces at all. He's fucking honking every time.
And that's it.
The worry is that it's him or Victor, right? Right now. This is going to be it, isn't it?
Marty's got a lot
should
to
be
answer
we'll
for.
blow the whistle probably as soon as kickoff's done. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my
Guys,
one
go
was
to
on.
bluetintedglasses.com. You can do your match ratings. They're probably not going to be too great. Disgusting performance. Yeah, not the greatest.
Wow.
What are your initial thoughts of that, Luke?
Serious questions about Marty. It's just, I miss Enzo.
Yeah. Well, we can't keep talking about Enzo, Luke.
I'll talk about him forever. The one that got away. I really think that we've just been chicken winged of an arm behind our back by Marty in that game from the get go. To be honest, if even the starting 11 was questionable, I understand rotation of a quick turnaround, but the subs were absolutely. He's usually been really good at his subs. That was awful. Super disappointed in Marty and very, very concerned. How many draws is that now? 4.
4 in a row.
4 in a row. It's crazy. With so many points. You know, if you look at the results in the table, we could have done so well today.
We're 6th right now.
Yeah, we would have dropped a lot, I'm sure.
I'm very I'm torn. Yeah, I mean, I like Marty, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of Marty out comments in our chat.
4 in a row. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, go on, Luke.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say that Oliver skip. I know it wasn't all on him. Like, I'm not blaming Oliver Skip for the 2 points drop. No way am I doing that. But you know, when you've got Oliver Skip coming on in the second half, it's like, what do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to create with Oliver Skip on the pitch? I mean, I was just watching him there, man. Like, all he is he's just always in meaningless positions. I mean, he's got to go. Yeah, I can't actually believe what I'm seeing in the chat. I can't believe it's that's like extreme. Like, that many people saying Marty out. I can't believe it.
I don't think it's that bad. It's just not good.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, you were saying draw against Oxford, draw against Wrexham, and then draws against Coventry and West Brom. That's 4 draws in a row. And I think the problem is just not seeing where the goals are coming from, which is true. Look at the stats. The stats don't lie there. 1 shot on target. Both teams had 1 shot on target. You know, that whole second half, we were just pissing around, passing the ball around. And it looked nice. It looked kind of neat, but never once did we threaten the goalkeeper. It was reactionary. Whereas I feel like, you know, what we should have done is just put it to the sword, 2-0, 3-0, then play the way that we were doing it. So I do understand it. And at the end, if anything, Wrexham looked more likely to. And we were saying as well, look, it's a dangerous lead. We've got the goal. We're trying to kill the game, but we're not doing it. And they took opportunity of the chance that they had. But I do agree. I think Marty out is way too reactionary. But he's got to fix something. That's a really poor, you know... I'm just looking at the scores come in now. So Ipswich and Bristol finished 1-1. Birmingham just got an equaliser in the 90th plus 10th minute against Sheffield Wednesday. Southampton looks like they've won that game with Sheffield United. I'll bring up the table in a second. But at one point we were second and we're going to end up 5th or something like that. It's just we're killing ourselves a little bit here, guys.
Yeah, Birmingham just equalised against Sheffield United 2-2. Yeah, Southampton beating Sheffield United. Yeah, as you said, Ipswich 1-1. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced that Marty out is the right course of action. And look, don't get me wrong. In football, we're all hypocrites. We're big fat hypocrites. If this was Steve Cooper, I'd be saying get him gone because I don't like him. But I think I've seen enough from Marty, or from us under Marty, to suggest it will get better, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think, you know, I've seen a few people say we've not got out of second gear all season, which I think is a fair comment to make. But it's like, what happens when we do get out of second gear? Because I think it will happen, and I think the players are actually enjoying enjoying their football. You know, if it, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Luke.
I think that if we're lucky enough to get promoted this season, I still don't think Marty's the man to take us forward. I think that, like, let's say we go up just by playoffs by the skin of our teeth, I think we find a better, more refined, improved version of Marty. Not a complete drastic system change, but I think we'd get eaten alive with him, even with a war chest in the Premier League. I've got to be honest with you. I called it early. His build-up play is very questionable at times. I would like his man management, but today he was awful with it. He was the first time I'm not going to be that reactionary where I say he should be sacked today. I think that would be stupid, but particularly at this point of the season. But like, I definitely have major questions of him, and I always have, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think people. I mean, I'm seeing people in the chat, right? In this live chat, I'm seeing people in this live chat who 3 months ago said Leicester City will not get promoted this season. Leicester City will finish in the playoffs and not go up. It's going to take a year to kind of rebuild. And those same people are now saying Marty out. That's what I don't understand, right? Like I just think you can't have it both ways, if that makes sense. Like I feel like in my eyes, I'm kind of thinking, if I just don't think you can ask for that rebuild and also demand promotion straight away. Is my point. Again, I think I've seen enough from Marty to suggest it will get better, but of course, I think that's 2 out of the last 4 games.
To be fair, though,
subs.
A counterpoint though is you could say, well, what rebuild, right? This team had Vestergaard, had Winks, it had Skip. There was no you had Jerry Monger starting, that was good to see. But you know what I mean? It's not like it's an entire revolution. It's not like you got Ben Nelson, Louis Page, Jake Evans, all these lot playing, and like, oh, you know, we're doing all right considering we got quite a young lineup. If anything, you could say it's Enzo's team, but underperforming.
But this is it as well, right? So somebody put a comment here. Let me find it. I don't think we're seeing a rebuild. Now, what Peter's probably referring to is the fact that Fass and Vestergaard are playing, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when we don't play them? We lose.
Yeah.
Like, or we put in an even worse performance. So I'm telling you, if Marty was playing Ben Nelson and Caleb Okoli today, and they conceded 1 or 2 goals, you'd still be saying Marty out because we haven't won the game. This is my point. You know, he's trying to find a balance, in my opinion, between a team that's capable of winning, but also a team that's bringing through exciting young players and getting some fresh faces into the squad. So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I understand it. I understand I understand the frustration 150%. I agree with that. Definitely. I think we've not played well enough again today, but I just don't. And I'm normally very reactionary with managers out. Like, as soon as a manager, I'm normally like, yeah, get him out. But I'm more than happy with him for now, for sure. But we'll see. That could change in 3 weeks, or I know there's an international break. But if we drew the next 3, or if we lost a couple of them games, then I'm sure that would change quickly. But I don't think it's time just yet to be calling.
Look at this. 10-point deduction and we are bottom. This, in my opinion, is what's most alarming. I've been saying earlier that, like, I didn't want that monkey on our back. Like, if we had let's say a point deduction early, morale would have been even worse. It is somewhat of a rebuild that we're already under. Now, if we have these are the type of games you could argue on paper, the last, 4 or 5 games we've got draws and stuff like that, and we should have been picking up points early, so that should we get hit with a points deduction, which I would prefer later in the season rather than early, at least they've already built some momentum. Now, if we get a points deduction, let's say it's 10 points, we are fucked. And definitely going to see a lot more toxicity and Marty out and this and that and the third. I'm very concerned, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let me bring up another couple of these comments. I just want to see that ball being pinged repeatedly against the opposing goal, relentless attacking football. Boho says this team has no passion. It's up to him to push that. See, I disagree with this, Boho, mate. I mean, what we've seen prior to today how many times this season have we gone a goal behind and the players have fought until the end and got some out of the game? So I don't buy that no passion whatsoever. I think there's plenty of passion in the team. I think there's fight in the team, and I think there's more fight than what we've seen previously. I think this is the problem here. We're just not creating and scoring enough goals. I think that is it for me. I think defensively we're pretty good. We're not great defensively, but we're pretty good. We just need to score more goals, and I think that's what I think he's tried to find a way of doing that. It's not quite clicked just yet, and I think once it does click, once he finds a way to score more goals, I think we'll win a lot more games. It's that simple. We were always going to struggle, obviously, with Vardy leaving, right? We were going to lose goals in the team. That was undeniable. The system is stopping us scoring. We create nothing. We rely on magic. It isn't going to fit. What do you think? Do you agree with that, Lee?
Yeah, I do, because every single time that our wingers get it, we're not having anyone arrive into the box unless Ricky P's on the pitch, and that's one of the biggest problems. So we're constantly seeing a winger with no striker because he's been asked to drop so deep, and most usually is Jordan I, who can't get back in the box fast enough. Dak is not physical enough to receive a header. There's so many flawed things in attack. There's lots of small traits of things that I like in build up and triangle passing stuff, more so from out the back. But once we get toward the final third, it's just not there. The end product, the wingers are asked to do too much. I think it says a lot as well that when you watch, like whether it be the 10 or the false 9, so if you watch Jordan I or even Bobby Donkey over Reed a lot in the first half, they're receiving their ball with the back to goal, releasing it most likely to the wingers, who's then expected to get the ball up the pitch, but then with no one else to receive the ball. It says a lot, and that's one of the things I want to highlight there. I genuinely want to play 3-2-4-1. We're going to go back to a back three and have 2 high eights. That's where we get the most out of this team, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
I say what, just for fun, just to make you feel any better, let's get through it then. Let's talk about the match ratings and do a bit of analysis. So look, here it is. It's finished 1-1. You can see our expected XG was just a bit like 1. So was Wrexham. So to be honest with you, you can have all the possession you want in the world. We can see here 68% possession, but you'd have to say that scoreline's a fair reflection of what the game was. 1-1. Doesn't matter that we've outpassed them pretty much 2-1. That's where we are. I see here's an interesting thing. You see the attack momentum, and it's all green pretty much, but I don't even the second half there where I can't even remember what this was. This wasn't really too many chances we had on goal. I think just not enough. Didn't ask enough questions is where it really matters, There's better comments. It's pretty sure if the game ended 1-0, would have talked about how we absolutely dominated the game and arguably our best game this season. Very reactionary. It's a fair point. But I do think that during the game we were saying is just we're not asking enough questions. So let's get with the match ratings. Let's start with the keeper, Jakub Stolarczyk. Luke, what did you make of him?
5 out of 10. He had a few scary moments. He had a few moments where he claimed the ball, came out his area. He's done half decent today, but still very quick. No, actually, you know what? No, he tried to turn into fucking De Bruyne in that second half and play himself into trouble for absolutely no reason. I think a 5 is generous today. Not honking, but not good either, in my opinion. Ball distribution. He's tried to release the ball early sometimes, but there was no one getting ready to receive it. So what do you think, Locks?
Yeah. I think he had a good game, proving the Leicester. I think we've lost 1-0. Proving the BTG. Well, when I say BTG, I mean Locks. The doubter of Jakub wrong. I think he did fine. It was a good finish, to be fair, for their goal. So yeah, nothing really to complain about with that one.
I was just trolling you guys. I was putting in a Leicester display there being anonymous, but I was here all along. You guys giving him 4.8.
4.8.
It's a bit harsh. Don't think Jakub really did much wrong, but yeah, just didn't really have much he could do with that goal either, could he? Yeah, 6 what most people seem to be giving him there. All right, this one's going to be fun because he got hauled off. Luke Thomas, speak to me, Luke.
I hate doing this because Duck's probably watching with a fucking Denmark hard on with a Chelsea fucking shirt on, the scumbag hiding from the stream. I got to be honest with you. I think Victor Christensen's probably going to take his place now. I think Victor looked a lot better in that second half. He released the ball when he needed to. He didn't do anything honking too bad except maybe one defensive moment. Luke Thomas, though, absolutely god-awful. Got exploited badly as I expected against I forgot his name, Kamore, whatever his name is, from Wrexham, the lone lad. I was very worried about that matchup. That's another thing that's going to be on Marty will touch on later. But for now, Luke Thomas should not be starting. He is awful. Again, while we gave this contract to this guy, fucking Rod Konomets, thank you so much for pissing away my money, you fuckwit. Luke Thomas is shit.
That's very generous from Steve here. Elm giving him a 5 because I think all the rest is true. He is lightweight, no attacking threat, scared of the ball and makes mistakes. And he was a red card waiting to happen. That's the reason why the change was made. He was going off. Lurch, Yannick Vestergaard. I mean, he wasn't at fault, you could say, for that goal because his lack of pace showed him up again there. But what did you make of him? Locks.
Yeah. Again, you got kind of the basics from Yannick, what you expect. He obviously got turned and he got a little bit exposed leading up to their goal. Other than that, I think he did pretty well. So I would give him a 6.
What about you, Luke? Yeah.
I think that's harsh. I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he was absolutely instrumental in that first half and that build-up play. He laid off some brilliant passes. He was really good in defense as well. He had his moments. He was doing he played himself out of trouble actually a few times as well, where I was kind of slagging him off, but he proved me wrong. I think it's a little harsh for that goal. I think he was physical. I think he got a bit unlucky. He was physical enough to get him off the ball, but then he got turned as well. So there's a lot more things at play than that goal that gets conceded than Yannick Vestergaard. I think that's a bit harsh. I think he was good today, other than that one isolated moment.
You got 5.5, which is generous for us, given we've just got the draw. I mean, I agree with you. I think if he hadn't been for that goal, he'd have probably got a 7.5 or an 8. But he was exposed on that goal. But we've seen that happen before. That defender peels off to make him 1-on-1, and you're fast. Yeah, I agree with this kid. And if he hadn't put a foot wrong all game, but because of that goal, he's been marked down, which is fair enough. Wild Phase, Luke, what did you make of him?
6. Had a few moments where he took the ball off the pitch. I like it when Wout Phase does that, when we don't get our pants taken down in transition, which we didn't, but he still had a lot of bozo moments as well, tracking back. Decent on the ball, though, to be fair, in that first half. I just think the second half, he just showed a few of his bozo traits. I think a 6 is reasonable. I don't think he was bad, but I don't think he was outstanding either.
What did you make of your favourite player, Locks?
Yeah, I'll give him half a rating higher than Yannick just because Fass's mistake didn't lead to a goal, so I'll say a 6. Ooh,
that's so harsh. 4.6.
Harsh.
Yeah. Reese with a big comment there. I'll bring Reese your comment up when we get to Marty. Not obviously a fan there. Harry Winks. I'll let you take him for once, Locks. I normally give him to you, Luke, but Harry Winks.
I mean, can you imagine how bad we would be without him in the team?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would give him a 7 today. Harry Winks, 7.5. He'll probably get lower because we dropped points, but I would probably give him I'll stick with a 7. I think he's instrumental, really. I don't think it matters what system we play. I just think you have to have him in there now at this point because without him, we'll just lose too much quality.
I think comfortable 8.5. He absolutely bossed that game. He was the best player on that pitch from both teams by a country fucking mile. He sets absolutely everything up. You feel so much more relaxed. It's because of Harry Winks that we can allow ourselves to get attacking positions. It's just that we do nothing with it. He's calling out. He's also a leader on the pitch. He's screaming at Hamza Chowdhury Fatawa to release the ball. And he didn't. He can see everything that's there. He's coordinating the attack as well in the build-up. He does a lot more that people don't give this guy enough credit and respect that he deserves, in my opinion, particularly at this level. I think 5.9 is a piss take and very reactionary. I think he's at minimum 7.5.
Yeah, that's what I would have given him. I think he was our best player today as well. Well, no, maybe there was one other player that was our best, but I think overall he controlled the game and the tempo. Okay, so Mr. Gromit, I'll give it. There's only one person I can give him to. Locks, what did you make of Jordan James today?
For me, mate, I mean that pairing of Winks and Jordan James has to be the midfield pairing going forwards. I think the 2/8s. I think he's going to be super important. I think he did tire as the game went on, which is why I think we've seen him come off early in some of the earlier games. I don't think he had a full preseason. He struggled with that, but the ground he covers. He's not the strongest of players, but he's got a big frame. He puts it about, and he's able to keep players off, and he's able to progress the ball. Good little 1-2 with Patson Daka, which we'll talk about that again when we talk about Daka. But that was good play. Scores the goal. The goalkeeper probably should have done better, but still he's got it in the back of the net as a box crasher. He is my man of the match. I would give Jordan James. I would give him an 8, but I think he'll probably get a 7. But yeah, an 8 for me.
And how about you, Luke? What would you give him?
I would give him a comfortable 8 as well, and I actually got to disagree with you, Locks. I think he is strong. I think he was absolutely, there's about 3 or 4 times tonight when he was physical on the ball, won the ball back, robbed it off the defender. I think he was absolutely everywhere. He's intelligent on the ball when he is box crashing, what we absolutely need. I also don't think that I think that he is an 8, but I don't think Winks is. I think what we're seeing under Marty is we're seeing a single pivot, and he's going to be the person that's going to be more advanced in the two. To be honest with you, and that's why it's good to have him there, because if Winks can intelligently release the ball at the right time, you're going to see so much out of Jordan James to progress the ball at the pitch.
Yeah,
these are 2 great points, and Pete, and I agree with you both. So I think for me, probably where we've actually lost this is that first thing we put Skip on. Jordan James moves his sort of position, so Skip can come on there in the 10. And then later on, we obviously take Jordan James off completely. And the fact is 2 games in the row, whether he's tired or not, that could just be coincidental. But you guys gave him a 7.7, so that's your man of the match. I think him and Winks were very good, and we did miss him when he went off. The guy that replaced him was garbage, wasn't he? Let's go on to Bobby Reid. Well, I'm going to give this to Luke because I think it's going to be rare footage of Luke saying something positive about Bobby Reid, talking about him.
Yeah, the second half I thought he was honking, but the first half I actually thought he was quite good. He was receiving the ball, he's back to goal, he was releasing it at the right time. His link-up play was actually quite good. And also he was much faster than Uncle Ayu to be able to get back in the box and join in the attack. For me, I would give him a 6.5. I think is reasonable. I genuinely don't think he put too much of a foot wrong in the first half. Second half, But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised at him today. I think he actually deserves another start next week, or against Swansea, sorry.
Yeah. What about you, Locks? Did you make a
I agree. I mean, I always say this, but thanks to Kate's question to Radio Leicester, we learned quite early on that Marty was a fan of Bobby Reid. Obviously, he had an injury in the summer, which meant he didn't start the season, but he's a smart player. And I would much rather see Bobby in the 10 than Jordan James in the 10, for example. So, yeah, I think he should start the next one as well. I think 6 is, 6.5, 7, maybe 6.5, I would say. Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's a fair score, and I think he is unlucky. I think it's a fact he came up and we look worse, and that is annoying. Yes, I think you're right. I think once we have him and Ramsey, those 2 should be playing as a 10s in this team. One of them isn't available. We'll be back next week, but we'll see when we get there. Abdul Fatawu, not his strongest game. I'll come to you again from Locks because we were having this discussion. What did you make of his performance today?
Yeah, look, I think the fact that you've got Steffi Mavididi and Abdul Fatawu in your team and they're not getting much output, I think says there's probably a flaw with the system. Those are 2 of the best wingers in the division, and they should be doing a lot more than they are. Abdul, he's scored a couple of goals this season, great goals. And you're going to get pure energy from him as well for 90 minutes. But yeah, just I would say an average performance from him. I would probably say a 5, maybe even a 4.5 for Abdul Fatawu today.
How about you, Luke's fair point? It's been quite disappointing since the Birmingham game.
I hate to do this. I'm going to give him a 4. I think this is the worst game he's ever had for Leicester City. I think that it's not just, look, I understand he's going to have those, he's going to cut inside, he's going to send a lot of those shots over the bar, but when he bangs those worlders in, you're not blaming him for taking those shots then. What bothers me most about this game is that his decision-making was absolutely awful. I mentioned earlier Winks was screaming at him to not release the ball. Winks was in acres of space and could have set us up for a much more promising attack. There were so many moments like that when he just did not make the intelligent decision. He kind of played his own game. He was selfish, he was reckless, and he didn't think on the pitch today. So for me, 4, I think, he was not a team player today. That's what disappointed me. I actually want him to be hauled off, to be honest with you, and I would never say that about Fatah unless I really meant it.
Yeah, he needs him and Mavadidi or Mongo on the other side. It needs someone making the underlap or overlap run to give them more space. Speaking of the star boy, Jeremy Mongo on the other side. What did you make of him, Luke?
Excellent. Other than this lad's playing his own game. He's on a whole other level, man. He's skinning people. He's not making people. He's looking like he's playing himself into trouble, but he digs himself out because of his quality and speed to be able to beat his man. He's getting doubled and tripled up on. He's getting fouled to fuck. This guy's a fucking monster. He had one wayward shot at goal. Other than that, this guy should not have been taken off. Mavadidi did nothing when he came on. I think it was the right thing, management-wise, as much as I'm going to slag him off for it in about 5 minutes, Marty. But Jeremy Mongo should not have come off. We lost so much attacking threat because his willingness to take his man on at speed and give out on transition to give the rest of the team to get into shape to offer something. Mavadidi holds the ball up and slows us down, prevents that. Jeremy Mongo needs to be starting against Swansea, in my opinion.
You agree with that, Locks?
Pure excitement when he's got the ball. You always feel like you're going to do something. It's going to send shivers down the spine of defenders he's up against. I think he has to start as well, as many of us have been saying since July or something. He should start every game. It wasn't his best of games, but I think a 6.5 would be more fair. 5.6.
Yeah, I think you guys have glazed him a little bit, but he was okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, both the wingers, they've not really had a shot on target. They've not really had a deadly ball into the box to score from. But I think there you go. He's right. Teams have already figured out how we heavily rely on wingers and quality from Patel and Monga. Hence, they're always doubled and tripled up on. And that's the main reason for how our poor attack's been. Simple as that. They need that inside running. And if they look good when one of the midfielders or fullbacks is making that underlap or overlap and run, and we're just not doing it enough. We need to really work on that in the next international break. Patson Daka, I'll come to you, Locks. He was surprisingly picked ahead of both Ayew and Carranza. What did you think?
I mean, it wasn't his worst game, was it? He's had many worse games than today. I think off the ball, he offers quite a bit, but whenever you really need him to do much on the ball, he doesn't deliver. However, his assist today was taken very well. The 1-2 with JJ, he took that really well, better than I ever thought he would. He got the assist. I would give Daka I'm gonna say a 5.5 today.
You guys are smoking fucking crack. What the fuck are you on about? This amazing assist. He had his back to goal. The ball.
No, it was a good assist. He took it well.
Locks. Ask everyone in the chat here. Be realistic. How hard is it to lay off a simple short pass on the inside of your foot to someone that's already running onto it?
I hear you.
He hit the ball on the inside of his foot. It's the most simple, basic fucking pass.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about that whatsoever. He's not played a line breaking pass. He's not fucking anything like this. He's had his back to goal and first and foremost, and then make him look at scoring the goal. That goal. Are you sitting here glazing Patson Daka for the amazing link-up pass? Ask yourself that, and then fucking come back to me when you fucking wake up from your crack smoke. Both of you, I can't believe I'm fucking glazing him for that. He gets a fucking 1 from me.
He took it. One's harsh. That's ridiculous.
I think anywhere between a 4 and a 5.5 is fair. To be honest with you. Yeah.
Let's come on to Marty then. Oh, this was going to be a big one then. What do we make of Marty? Line up. This time round, he makes subs, but the subs were not the right ones. And that's, you could argue that's the 2 games in a row. And maybe, do you remember Duck was telling us how he said that when he was at QPR, they thought his subs were really bad. Is he just got lucky in the first couple of games and now they're not working? Or is it just the players aren't good enough? Is it the system? Is it the lineup? Well, Locks, I come to you. You've defended him there. I would always say you need to give a manager 10 games to really tell. But I'll be honest with you. Looking when we did the predictions of from the last international break to now, if you'd have said to me we're only going to get 4 points out of Wrexham, Oxford, Coventry and West Brom, I would have said that sounds like major panic stations need to be pressed about. Something must have seriously gone wrong. Now, the crazy thing is that we haven't lost any of those games.
Yeah.
Right? But we haven't won any of them. So I don't know. There's the old cliche when a team's drawing, they're either really close to being really good or they're really close to being total shit. Which one is it, Locks?
Yeah, I mean, For me, mate, like today, the starting 11, I think, was obviously rotation, right? Many of the players, I think it was about rotation. Played on Friday, playing today, playing on Saturday. However, there's no excuse for the skip thing. I mean, the only excuse you could try and make is that he's trying to play a £20 million midfielder, or what we paid £20 million. He's trying to play him through a really shit period of his career. And when I say shit period, I mean it's a year now. Yeah, Blazer's right, by the way. Blazer's comment there at the bottom. But yeah, I would say that Samari was available, right? He could have brought Samari on if he needed to make that change. He could have brought Samari on. I think he clearly tried to use Skip.
Sorry to interrupt you, Locks, but I do have to agree with this statement. It was going all right until Locks joined the Watchalong.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I just couldn't resist my my excitement when Jordan James scored. No, I think with Marty, again, my feelings are still the same as they were about an hour ago, which was that I think some fans want the best of both worlds. They want him to put out the best 11, but they also want him to have a rebuild of some kind. So I think he's in a real tough spot. I'm nowhere near a Marty doubter yet. Like in 3 or 4 games time, let's see where we're at. But right now, I just think he's trying to do the best he can in a real shit situation. He should be doing better with the squad available, but we know the turmoil the club has been in for the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm gonna give him today a 4, I think, and that is heavily impacted by the substitute of Oliver Skip, who is just an absolute car crash. I don't ever want to see him play in a Leicester again. And I know Luke loves to bang the drum about Enzo Maresca 2 years on, or a year on since he left. However, I will say this, and you've already seen it with Enzo, I think, for Chelsea this season. Enzo Maresca would have dragged off Oliver Skip 10 minutes after he came on.
Yeah.
He would have, because it was awful from as soon as he came on the pitch.
He did that once to Yunus Akgun, I remember.
Yes.
Yunus Akgun came on as a sub and he substituted the substitutes. He's absolutely done it before. Not being funny thing, but Yunus Akgun is 2 or 3 times the player that Oliver Skip will ever be. Luke, talk to me about Marcy Cifuentes.
If he didn't sub off Luke Thomas immediately, I would have given him a 1. I think he cost us that game dearly. I usually glaze him for his man management, but the subs that he made, like, he makes scary changes. Like, I understand, like, making it change. If you're going to make drastic, systematic changes, do it 1 person at a time, not 2. The way that I cannot believe that he put Skip on in that point of the game when we need physicality. Not even his. I can't wait to talk about him. Marty really, really cost us. First in the second half, we should have gone for the jugular. We allowed them to come back into the game, and then we made it even worse by taking longer, more creative and threatening player off the pitch, and also Oliver Skip as well was just crazy, man. Absolutely bonkers. I can't believe it. He gets a 2 from me. I think he cost us that game. This game is on him. I'm not saying it's for him to be nice. But this game is 100% on him, and there's serious questions to be asked that I will play.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an interesting one. Subs at 1-0. Who really thought we wouldn't win at that point? The problem is that I would also say at 1-0, it never looked like we were going to make it 2-0, and that for me is the biggest issue. Which is why I agree with Reese earlier to saying that is all on the manager. And yeah, it's been a 0. So I was crazy for saying we'd get 8 points from the next 5 games. Well, we're going to get less than that, aren't we? So, Steve, you are crazy because we're only going to get at maximum 7. But you're fair play. I will never doubt you again. You are correct, my friend.
By the way, can I just say, just because we're talking about Marty, Kate has just messaged. She's listening to Radio Leicester. Apparently, Marty is on there saying the players are arrogant. Our players were arrogant after a first half performance, and they went out in the second half too arrogant.
Well, so I don't disagree with that, Locks. I don't disagree with that. Now, the problem is that the manager or not? But I mean, just looking at the game, that is exactly what happened. We came out in the second half and we played like we were 3 or 4-0 up. That's what we were doing, right? Like, it was pretty. We were making nice patterns of play and knocking it about, but we never once tested the keeper. Whereas what we needed to do was like what Man City would do back in the day under Pep, right? Where they just steamroller, make it game over, and then you make all your subs. So that's interesting that he said that. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, the way that the team plays is indicative of the manager. So is he arrogant? Don't know. Something to sort of say. But look, we'll come to the table and results in a second. Exactly, Reese. He's right, but he picks the same arrogant players, right? Throwing the players under the bus so early is interesting, but they might not be wrong with that. Let's move on to the ref. I'm sure we'll talk about the performance again. So actually, this wasn't the ref; it was someone else. But what do we make of the referee today, Luke?
Kabore, whatever his name is, puts a fucking elbow in Monger and doesn't get penalised for it. Scumbag. The referee nowhere near.
Sorry, Luke. I don't think you're using the mic correctly. We cannot hear you. You got the right one set.
Yeah, I've been using the same one the whole time. I'll just back out.
All right.
No, I think it's just reset. Just reset. Throwing the players. Yeah, I don't think that. No, the referee I thought was. I mean, there were a couple poor performances, a couple poor decisions. That's for sure. I mean, at least it was nowhere near as bad as what the QPR game. Not the QPR game. Who was it we played? Who was the last game in I've had a memory block.
West Brom.
West Brom. Yeah, it was nowhere near as bad as that, thankfully. But yeah, I would give him a 5 probably. Yeah, I would agree with Ryan. A 5.
Yeah, he's bang average, wasn't he? 4.6. That's fair enough. All right, let's get on to the subs because I think here's where it's going to get interesting. So, first sub I'll talk about is Steffi Mavadidi. We talked about it there. Came on for Jeremy Monger. What did you make of him?
I mean, where do I go with a sub like this? I would go with 4. Yeah, I'll just give him just a basic 4. To be honest with you, I think he ran at his man a couple of times, but it was just backwards passes and a couple of poor touches. So a 4. There you go.
Yeah, you just ran into traffic rather than make anything happen. It's interesting though. Get quite a lot of mixtures. Some people saying not bad, quite good. Some people too. I would agree with you 4. I think if anything, he was below average when he came on. And yeah, 008. That's exactly what he is, unfortunately. And what has happened to him? We need to get him working. We need to give him that inside run. It seems that without a Dewsbury Hall by his side, he can't do anything. All right, Jordan Ayew came on late in the game. What did you make of him? I don't think he was that terrible, actually. I think when he held up the ball, I actually think he was the best of the subs we made, which says it all.
He just did his usual thing. Yeah, he held the ball up. I think there was a poor touch there as well, but I'll give him slightly more than Mavidi. I'll give him a 5. Didn't have too much time to impact the game. Didn't create anything, obviously, because we rarely do. But that's half, 3.5 half.
Yeah, I think that's just but to be honest, I notice this a lot with the match ratings. If we win, everyone's like 8s and 9s. If we're doing, we're bad. It's always that way. Carranza, not Kone, didn't really come on the pitch for much longer. I've missed Skip. He is coming up in a minute. But what did you make of Carranza while he was on?
I mean, it's just not great at the moment, isn't it? It's a shame. I expected him to show a lot more than that, but I would probably give Carranza a 3. Just not really clicking for him just yet, is it, mate? Hopefully it clicks soon. I mean, he's not even. Has he started a game yet? He's not started a game yet, has he?
He hasn't, but I'll be honest, if he locks, it just gives me serious Edouard vibes. He doesn't look like he's well suited for the English game. He looks like he's slow, gets pushed off the ball. I don't know.
And he's already played more than
going to be a risk. But put it this way, I'd be extremely surprised if we use that purchase option on Carranza at the end of the season. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah, 3.4. Right, got 2 more to go, but wow, this guy. We've got Christensen to come last. We've got Skip. 2.
2. Dog shit. Sorry to say. That's all I need to say. Rubbish. Crap.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it says it all that he came on and he got booked with probably his first or second challenge. And then after that, just as you say, he's a passenger. He stands there. If anything, he got in Harry Winks' way. Do you know what's really funny? Where's 22? And he got 2.2. And do you know what? Do you know who the last 22 was before Oliver Skip?
Damari Gray.
It was Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, Dom.
Yeah. What a massive downgrade from Kieran Dewsbury Hall to Oliver Skip. And I said it before, Jordan James already has had better highlights in his Leicester City career in 180 minutes than Oliver Skipp has or ever will have. And I don't know what you do with him. I think you got to loan him out. Yeah, if Mavididi was 007, this is 0.07 for Oliver Skipp. Horrendous, and maybe cost us the game. Bain came on at half time. Victor Christensen.
I've said for the last few weeks I prefer him to Thomas, just because I think Thomas is rock bottom. He's not really an improvement. You know, I think he's slightly better, but it's going to be each their own. Some will disagree, some will agree. I'll give him a 4. I don't think he was a car crash when he came on. I think he made one mistake, but Thomas had to come off. I think he was a walk-in red card. So I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, it says that. Oh, I kind of agree with Steve here. He's giving it a 2. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but he was lucky not to give away a goal. But he only does start over Thomas because there's not really much there. And you got to ask, where is Aluko? Where Koulibaly shipped off? Could you try someone else in that position? Because they're not really often playing at left back. And yeah, it did almost cost us a winning goal for Wrexham, the way that he switched off. You guys gave him 3.5. I think that's generous, to be honest with you. So, tell you what, let's look at the Championship. Here are the full-time results that have come in. So, do you know what? It's one of those where we've basically gotten away with it a little bit, but massive opportunity missed here. So, Birmingham drew with Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn lost to Swansea, who we're playing next. Bristol and Ipswich finished 1-1. So, we're not the only team that's struggling. Hull and Preston 2-2, but Preston were 2-0 up in that one. Top versus second, Middlesbrough and Stoke finished goalless. So again, we could have made up some serious points just for 1-0. But drop points there. Leicester 1, Wrexham 1. Southampton came back from 1-0 down, and Chris Wilder kicking a ball at his own fan's face and getting sent off to win that one 2-1. And I think Derby and Charlton did finish 1-1. Let me just bring up the table. I've got it here. I wanted to give it a
no one in the top 10 won. Nobody.
Wow, that's incredible. But what's incredible about that though, Locks, is that if we'd have won, well, you know, we'd have been second if we'd have won. So that's massive opportunity missed. And Coventry will be laughing. They win their game in hand and they'll be in second place. And I suppose it's not a disaster, you know, after 8 games that we're 5th, but it just feels like it's just so underwhelming though, doesn't it? We are still 5th somehow, but what? I mean, we can ask this quickly. What would you want to see against Swansea then? Ramsey is back. That's the big news.
I don't think I'd play Ramsey. I think I'd stick with Bobby Reid. I just think the players need a massive kick up the arse, and it sounds like Marty's trying to do that in his interview after the game. It sounds like he's gone in on a couple of players there, calling it arrogant. I would start Victor at left back. I would stick with the midfield 3 of Winks, James, and Bobby Reid. I would start Monga. I would start Ayew, and I would start Fatawu. And let's just see how it goes. But yeah, no Skip, no Thomas, no Mavididi. Ricardo, you'd have to play Ricardo in there over Hamza as well.
Yeah, I think you've got to bring him back. I think you got to go. Well, it's the last one, isn't it? Before
the international break. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Have you got those comments on Twitter or anything I'll bring up from Marty? I don't see them here. That would be a good one to end with it.
Let's have a look.
Try Carranza from New Off. I don't know, man. I think you got to try him later. Imran, yeah, this championship is a poor league. It's awful this season, really. How can a team as bad as us be 5th? We've been shit.
Wow. Listen to this from Marty.
Go on.
Oh, no, sorry, no, this wasn't Marty. Sorry, it was Mike Stowell. Never mind. Yeah, the quotes aren't out yet, unfortunately. Kate told me because she was listening live, but no, Mike Stowell said that was a poor performance. Harry Winks aside, I could not find many positives. So, yeah.
Jordan James, bit unfair on him, but fair enough.
Very. I agree. Yeah.
Right, so next up then, well, look at that. These are thick and fast now. Here we go. These are the next 2 then. So it's international break after this one. Massive gap that could be seen as good or bad, depending on... I think we need the international break, to be honest with you, to reset. But I mean, it's away, though, this game against Swansea, another Welsh team. I don't know. Can you see us even winning it? Anything could happen. That's the problem.
I think the James and Winks midfield encourages me.
Yeah.
And I think on another, I mean, we should have won that. We should have been out of sight 2-3 goals.
Yeah.
We just didn't create enough. So yeah, let's wait and see. I think we'll win it. And if we don't win it in ill, then yeah, we'll be sat here with the same conversations, right? In a few days' time, we'll be sat here, and there'll be even more people in the comments. Which the longer it goes on, the more I'll understand the frustration. Absolutely. So I think we'll win it though. I think we'll win it. Go full strength. Ricardo, as I said, Ricardo, Winks, James, Fatawu, Monga. I'm sorry, but Ayew is in the full strength team. Whether people like it or not, he is in the full strength team. So yeah.
Imran said, I said 5 points from the 3 games before the international break. We are on course for that. If we beat Swansea, we'll be a bit better. Yeah, Swansea only a point before us. We'll do that. Anyway, guys, look, let's leave it there. Thank you for joining the Watchalong. Well, that was Ricky P, who didn't even play, so forget that. That's been Blue Tinted Glasses. Yeah, look at the fireworks. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
It's not been a fireworks display. Thank you for joining all of us at Blue Tinted Glasses. Thank you, Luke, for joining in there. Are we gonna? Well, we won't. The next time we will see you will be for the watch along, won't it be? On Saturday. We'll see you there for Swansea. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you have a better end of your evening than we had tonight. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season. Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.